into this. Let's see here. Peace, everybody. I'll just end it with the song because I think Sonnetter, I'm gonna wait till everybody comes over. Actually, I do have to start a song so I can tell them we started it. But we're gonna get into this, everyone. Thank you for joining. We have Gemini. Let me take this down. We have Gemini the Goddess, Geminial the Goddess, and Sakina Ra joining me. We're not going to echo chamber tonight because Sakina has Gemini has another take on this, but I got something to ask about these social media posts that our women are posting lately. And so I'm going to play the music. We have DJ Genesis joining us. I'm going to put Peace Genesis. I'm going to play the music, and I'm going to see if we could get the crowd from over on the other channel to come on over. So just be patient. Enjoy the song.
Are we allowed to stream this on our live?
You already know what time. Why you ask me that live? You know, Sonnetter's not. I will ask Sonnetter. Okay, let me ask him.
No, don't worry about it. It's all good.
You are so funny. He said. Let me get let me let him know we started the live, y'all.
So let me hear you say so, netta, so, netta, so, netta. All right then, Sonetta brings the truth. Black News 102. This is here for me and you. It's Black News 102. House of Consciousness, make sure you're logged into YouTube. Black man, hold your head up high, and black woman, you too. Me nah go apologize, love off me melanin. Forget them other guys, that's what I'm telling them. Salute the general, never fear the challenge. The God saw netter stay strapped with the cannon. Don't ever disrespect, so it's best you pay homage. You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge. White supremacy, education get abolished. A laptop, a pen, and my pad is my college. Black man cipher, enter at your own risk. Make Europeans bow down on 125th. Saw netter got the spirit of Nat Turner. Waking up our people that's been miseducated and mass murdered. And it don't matter if you're shot in the clap burners. It's never too late to awake and progress further. As sure as the sun shines and the wind blows, there's therapy for post-traumatic slavery syndrome. Sonetta brings the truth. Black News 102. This is here for me and you. It's Black News 102. House of Consciousness, make sure you're logged into YouTube. Black man, hold your head up high, and black woman, you too.
All right. Okay. It's time to get it crack-a-lacking. Peace. Assalamu alaikum. Hotep. Namaste. Jambo. Ashe. Shalom. All the greetings of love and light to the darkest minds of the light. If you're on the R.I.S E channel, please hit the like. If you're on Sonnetter Studios, hit the like. If you're on HOK Coliseum, hit the like, hit the like, hit the like. All right. We're going to get started right away. Which one did we decide we're going to show first, ladies? We got my sisters up here. We're going to look at some stuff and we're going to go ahead. What'd you say? I heard somebody. Gemini. Genesis, anybody?
They're all bad. Yeah, they're all they're all something else.
I'm gonna start with the one that you said, Gemini. You like it's exfoliation. No, by the way, YouTube. Okay, 18 or older. I will put that on later officially. This is not sexual. This is not PORN. This is to critique social media. These images that I will be showing, even though I will try to cover them from my phone, are all over social media, YouTube. So don't play in our faces with don't start acting all goofy. What you're about to see, oh my God. I'm covering up the area of the ladies' parts. So you see a woman and she has on some panties, but you can get this done without panties on. I forgot to mention that to you, Gemini. You can get this done without your panties on. And what's going to be happening is you're going to see a man scrubbing her crotch, her inner thigh, I should say, and her groin area. And so this is just a mess. And I just want to talk about our sisters, our beautiful, sensual, sultry Black women, just getting on here, just acting you can be sexy, in my opinion, and you can be sultry and seductive, but this ain't it. Yeah, getting your coochie scrubbed and walking into those corner store with no panties on, posing with your booty cheeks out with your daughter standing next to. What are you trying to, who are you trying to attract? Let's get this. Keon came in. Hold on, Keon. Let me get this. Let me let Keon in. Okay, everybody mute out. I'm going to let you see this.
So what exactly happened? So what?
I'm going to let you see it right now, Genesis. You'll be able to weigh in right now. Hold on. Okay, so here it is. Let me see if I could get it. Look at this, because I don't want YouTube. Now, he's putting water on the areas of, the areas. And he's putting the soap. Now, y'all, this is a mess. Why? Can somebody, please? And now she's getting rinsed down. This is a mess.
So they have something similar when you go to the Korean spa, but this is not the same thing.
That's her breast. Okay, I think we saw enough of that. I'm gonna let you go ahead.
So she can't have no spot
Let's
treatment.
Start with Gemini.
It gotta be right and exact, or otherwise it's not a spot. Yeah, can you hear me? That's what I'm saying.
I hear you. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, am I on a delay or are you on a delay?
She's on a delay.
Yeah, I heard you.
We hear you, Queen.
Oh, I'm on a delay. Okay, got you. Well, I can't hear, so I'm just checking. So wait, so she can't get a spa treatment, and for women, who when they go out, those type of services, an exfoliation treatment, those are offered. Now, is he looking a little crazy? Yes. Does the video look a little crazy? Yes. And he is doing it for clout because he doesn't necessarily have to show that, right? That's just something for YouTube, something so he can get some views. But the treatment itself, it's not a bad treatment at all. I don't think that's the sluttiness.
Yeah, the treatment isn't the issue. The issue is that she's laid out there with her coochie exposed. Basically, there's a piece of thin nylon over it, but you can see the whole camel. You can see it through the panties when they get wet. And she's laying up there and she's letting herself be scrubbed, exfoliated. Scrubbed, exfoliated, depilatory with the bikini wax. It would be the same thing if it was her getting a bikini wax on social media. I know that it's a service. I know that women have yoni pots and steaming and health. It's the way our women are using those services to be sexualized. They know what they're doing. she's not up there like, "Oh, I hope everybody could get a nice scrub down," and he's not either. They know what
So
they're
was
doing,
it
right?
her or him?
Both of
But
them,
was
but
it
I was
her or
talking
was it
about the
him?
women. It's both
Okay,
of
of
them.
them.
Somebody
Okay.
dropped off. Who was it? I think it was Neil. Okay, so
Yeah, it was Neil.
do you have anything else to say before I move on to Sakina? Then I'm gonna go Gemini, Keon, and then Seven. You done, Gemini? I mean, not
No,
Gemini. No, I said
no,
Gemini. Genesis. Go ahead. You
Genesis
done? I
or
don't mean to
Gemini?
interrupt.
Because because if it
You
was
know
me,
me.
then
My
yeah,
brain.
We both Gemini, so I
yeah,
think
no,
Genesis is the DJ Genesis, and I'm sorry, Gemini, the goddess, is the goddess up here. So, goddess, do you have anything else to say?
yes,
Go ahead.
yes. Again, the exfoliation treatment. It's an exfoliation treatment, quite different from her parading herself. But again, does it have to be filmed? Do we all have to see it? That's a no. We don't. But people
Thank you.
do that, and if you never saw it before, it looks wild.
Yeah. Well, I've seen many exfoliation treatments, body wraps, all kinds of uh what do they call them? The massage for the cellulite. Can you imagine having that on somebody rubbing your booty and your thighs and all up, and you know what you're doing. But anyway, I get what you're saying. Thank you for your input. I love it. Yeah. Sakina Ra.
Thanks for the input, and I don't love it because it's like when they was telling me about the snatching their coochie back, and they called it yoni steaming, and everybody was doing all that, putting it in the crock pot and making roast beef,
Girl.
all these seasonings and carrying on, talking about your ancestors did it. I don't know nothing about all that, right? And so now Gemini made the most sense out
Not
of it.
roast beef though.
Well, listen here. They was putting seasonings in crock pots and sitting
I
in
know what you
chairs
put
and
in Yoni.
all this stuff. Talking about
The herbs. The herbs.
Those are herbs,
But
exactly.
she's right.
man, I done did a
spices.
yoni steam now, y'all.
Listen
Y'all
here.
going too far.
I ain't seen none of my ancestors sit on no crock pot and and with
Those
some
pots are
herbs.
very old. Yoni pots are
Look
very
here.
old for your
Mm,
FYI.
mm.
Okay.
Now they snatching their coochie back. Look here, I ain't seen nothing like that, right? So but now we going in and we with the burnt butt cheek massage, right? And you got him doing all this wrestling and carrying on, and I mean, what's going on, ladies? Is this laziness at its best?
Well,
Right?
thank
'Cause
you.
I don't understand it where you got to go
Uh,
have somebody else wash you up, or what are we doing here?
Yeah.
I
You
don't
gotta
oh
know.
have.
my
Thank you
God.
so much, Sakina. Thank you. Now we're gonna move on to DJ Genesis. Genesis, come on in. What do you think about what we showed? And is it too much? Are the sisters all going overboard? I get the treatment, but are they going overboard? DJ Genesis.
I'm sorry. I wanted to show. So this is a Korean back, right? Now, can you show this picture real quick? It's called a Korean.
Oh boy, here we go. Y'all are missing the
No.
point. You and
We-
Genesis,
No.
you and
You
Gemini
know,
are
you
missing the
got
point.
enough people on that side. I'm just gonna say. Now,
this
Don't
isn't the
mix me
point.
up with that's her point.
Okay.
if you go to King Spot, it's a bunch of women in bras and panties that you lay down on this table, and they start scrubbing you with this thing right here, this green thing. They start off with that. Then they rinse you off. Then they start off with another thing. And honey, they're gonna get up in it. They're gonna get up in your crotch. They're gonna get up in. They're not gonna touch your food pad, but they have this service at Pink Spot, right? Now, it's women doing it.
All right. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
I want y'all to keep it PG, keep it right. I don't want y'all to
I
get
said
crazy.
Yep.
I know, but I want y'all to keep it right. So, because I do have young adults watching and kids watching.
No, we said 18 or over for this one.
Oh, okay. You put that in there?
I'm going. Yeah, I said at the beginning, and I was going to put it in.
But still, just try to keep it clean a little bit. Y'all can talk.
Yes,
y'all
sir.
talk. But go ahead, Genesis. I had to come in and let you know.
So what I was saying is that, okay, like I said, you have women that, okay, so you go to the King Spot, right? Everyone's dressed up in uniforms, and then you go to the back, And then there are women in bras and panties, and then they are cleaning you, but they are dressed like this, and you are booked. And they will do all this work for you, right? So does that make you lazy or make you like, oh, okay, whatever? No, this is an actual Korean, it's called a Korean spa and a Korean bath. So that what he did is he's taking the same concept. Now it might be that he's making it look freaky, you know what I'm saying? You know, with the way that he's filming it. But this is something that happens all the time in other cultures. In Korea, people go to places and get this done. You know, so it's not. I think that sometimes that because it's in other cultures, we're seeing.
Your mic kind of go in and out, DJ.
No, I'm
Yeah, the
saying
audio is bad.
I'm sorry. With the new advent of technology, we're just finally seeing this. Normally, this is done inside of. It's done inside of a bathhouse. You know what I'm saying? And it's normally the females that do it for each other. It might be inappropriate for a male to do that, and I think that's probably where the issue is.
Okay, thank you, Genesis. Did you finish? I didn't. Your mic was going in and out. Sonetta put me on the big screen.
Okay,
did you finish, Genesis?
So you couldn't hear? Did you hear the?
No, we heard you. I'm just wondering if you finished.
Yeah, that was the main part, and then also what I would say is that even like when it comes down to himba baths. When you go into places like I guess the Himba tribe, they just use smoke and then like they sweat it out. They don't even use water. They just sweat. They just take the smoke bath and let the smoke like clean themselves, you know. And that's where you get your yoni steam. So I think that we are close. We need to like open ourselves to other traditions and how they clean themselves and get more depth.
Okay, thank you. I want to make this clear. This is why our sisters are not stupid. The ones who are on the internet showing their coochies being scrubbed and steamed, because they come in and say, well, you guys are close-minded. I'm not saying you do that, Genesis, but that's exactly what they do. They say, oh, we're just getting exfoliated. I don't know what's your problem. We just take care of our coochies. They're not just taking care of their coochies, though. They're overdoing it. Like, why do I need to keep on every other? Because I don't see a bunch of Korean women doing it. I don't see a bunch of Chinese ladies, no Native Americans. I don't even see a bunch of African women in Africa doing it. I see mostly that I see is my American sisters. I'm not calling them whores. I'm not calling them sluts. What I'm asking is, why are they trying to desensitize the public to seeing them scrubbing their coochies, squatting, showing their booties with their daughter's neck? Like, why are we doing that to ourselves? I'd be the first to say that I hate beekeeper outfits. Cleavage is beautiful. Women can be sexy. Women can be sultry, but it's like a line. It's a line. And you know that if, as a sister, like you both said, kind of, everybody agrees, they knew what they were doing with him doing that. If it was a service, why I got to see him like scrubbing all like that and, you know, getting all in her. And come on, we know what's going on there. But they have to go behind, they have to hide behind, oh, we're just doing a service. I don't know why you're so, it's you're closed-minded. So that's my issue. I'm calling them out on, and no, stand your ground. I get it. I'm just talking from my position. I don't want an echo chamber in here, but I'm calling the sisters out on
advertising.
Okay, great. It's advertising, but you're no, ain't nobody thinking about her.
It's part advertising.
Well, nobody's thinking about that. Nobody is really. I'd say about 10% people are going to go to that shop and get an exfoliation. All they're seeing is a woman's beautiful body and her coochie getting scrubbed in her. That's what they're seeing on social media. If you want to advertise your shop in that way, I think it could be done. This is my opinion, with a little bit more class. You can do the same exfoliation. How about working on her back? Why couldn't he say, we do the whole body? Why couldn't he even go down the back of her legs? Why does it have to be right on her crotch? Because we're desensitizing.
She didn't pay for that service.
No, but I don't have to see. But okay, and I agree.
Her breath and her cha-cha.
I got it, but I don't want to see. It's not just that particular clip over and over and over. A black woman showing her coochie. I saw one girl take her leg, throw it up on the table, take some soap and a washcloth and go and start going like this and say, it's like, why are women acting so low? Like, why are you making yourself look like nothing but it's like you're a big walking vulva and a vaginal canal. But I love it. Gemini, keep that energy. Genesis, keep that energy. I'm going to move on to now, Keon, I said I would go to you, but I got to go to the ladies first. So we got our sister up here, Latoya, and then I will get to you, Keon, I promise, because I want to hear from the men as well. But I need to go to my sister, Latoya Ma'at. Welcome, Queen. Let's hear from you. What do you think about that? Am I just overreacting? Come on, I can take it. You're muted.
No, you're not overreacting, and you knew you asked me. I was gonna go. Listen, I'm all for, if they want to advertise, there's ways to do everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just the manner in which it's done. There's just better ways to do things that aren't so. I don't like saying perverse because it doesn't necessarily have to be that. If we lived in a balanced society, you could get away with things like that. But because we don't, it just creates more drama than what is really needed. I'm sure they do other services than just that. Like you can promote, like you said, I like the idea. You can show her back or something and say, and you can even allude to or say, we also right next to the back, we do this in all types of other industries and ads, right? You put your services, you list them out. We can do yoni services. We know what that is now. You know what I mean? To have her up there and, we know why they did it. Sex sells.
Right.
That's all it is. Plain and simple. I'm not going to degrade her or say anything because it doesn't have to go that far.
Right.
I just think, some things just fall into wise and unwise, not necessarily, I wouldn't, slutty or something like that, but,
Right. I don't see her as slutty. What I see her is allowing herself to be exploited and objectified for him to advertise. And we were talking backstage, Jim and I was like, I didn't see him doing all that. But he was all acting like he was like, I'm doing something, like I'm a professional. Let me get up in them crevices. And I was like, please stop.
Well, I'm pretty, listen, I'm not negating the brother's skills. He probably is. Listen, if you do anything repetitively enough, you get good at it.
He was into it, boy. He looked like he knew it.
I'm sure he was into it.
I'm getting all this black off these in the thigh.
I just think, do we really have to be showing all of that?
Dead skin cells, not black.
Dead skin cells. Who had to scrub their knees? Was I the only one? Whose mama made them scrub their knees?
I scrub my knees.
My mom, yes.
Do.
So we know about exfoliating. Yes, But okay. See, Gemini up there, she's ready to go around. She come and get a little. She's ready to start swinging again. Okay, I'm gonna let Keon go, and then we're gonna get to this one right here. Y'all gonna have to explain this one. Yes, you see what you see. I had to cover it for YouTube. This is one of our sisters, beautiful body, walking around in public, going to the corner store with nothing on but a pair of boots. But we'll go. We don't finish up with the exfoliating part. Okay. I got
was it during Freaknik or what?
No, it wasn't Freaknik. Nope. She just decided one day, I got an idea. Oh, Lord. But I don't. Let's stick with the exfoliating service.
I don't know
Go
what
ahead,
day
Keon.
she thought that was appropriate.
Yep. Personally, I support women walking around with boots that look like that. Personally, I'm not gonna lie to you, but that just may be a me thing. But yeah, with the I mean, to be honest with you, like Latoya said, actually, nice seeing you, Latoya. I ain't seen you in a minute, but like Latoya said, like these people are just trying to make some money in sex sales. If you look good, I mean, you can put it on Instagram, TikTok, anywhere. You can pretty much get you a following. So that's just, it is what it is. Like if that's the case, we might as well, boycott TikTok monthly advances and stuff like that. That's the problem if that's the case. But as long as they can make money, they gonna sell their sales, man.
Have you ever seen My 600-Pound Life and how they
Yeah.
and all that?
Yeah.
And scraping it down and all that. So like it's like they get kind of in there too on that show. So I mean, I think that he's just trying to promote his little skills about what he got to do. And maybe some lonely woman out there that just needs to scrub down with extra hard.
I guess so. You get the loneliness. You satisfy the loneliness.
The lonely package, okay? You lonely,
and then you come out feeling fresh and exfoliated.
We
right?
saw how the men was doing remember the men that was doing the massages and had women all pent up and like a pretzel and doing all that crazy stuff, and it was like real wild looking and all that stuff like that. Remember that?
Yeah, the point that I'm making is the services I'm not against. It's the fact that every time I turn on the internet, a Black woman has her coochie up in the screen or is talking about her coochie or is acting a complete like exploiting herself and not really. Again, you could do it all. Notice I'm not calling them sluts. They're not sluts. I hate when men start saying, oh, they're whores, they're sluts. No, there's something else going on. It's beyond wanting attention, because women, I want women to be sexy. I want them to be alluring. I want them to be sultry. I want them to be sensual and, ooh, I can't resist her. But this is beyond, this is going to the more toward PORN.
Come on.
Like, it's not like, come on. And they're not catching the minds anymore. What they're
but that's
doing
not
is
the only kind of attention, though, Nepal. You have to realize that this is attention on steroids out here.
Right.
So, it may not be, so when you say it's not for attention, it absolutely is. But how far are they pushing the attention, boundary?
Exactly. That's my point. I mean, we're on the same page.
True.
I'm going to get to 7. Go ahead, Sakina, and then we're going to go to 7 because he needs to speak. Go ahead.
Okay, because when we taking it too far and mixing it up with bathhouses, right? Then we open doors, because we do have spa centers, but they're in our gyms, right? Those steam centers. So, but when we go to steam centers after we work out and whatnot, we take our own showers and whatnot. We don't have nobody to bathe us. So when we go into these Chinese bathhouses and whatnot and letting somebody else bath you, and you having those things where at one point they were for massages, but we also knew what type of massage those were. So we also have an open door for having these massages and getting these wrongful touches, right? And then you open the door for grape, possibly. You see what I'm saying? Or these wrongful touches. And so what are we not saying? Because that's going to be the next thing when you having these doors open and these Pandora boxes. So you having all these people opening up, right? Just saying, because you said you wanted this, and then the next thing somebody touched you in a way that you wasn't expecting to be touched, and now all of a sudden here it is, because you got to prove that it didn't happen. Right. And this person just touching you and you nice and relaxed. Sometimes they offer you a glass of wine or two. You can't say they don't, because they do. And ain't no telling what you might have smoked or ingested before you got there. And then this happens. Some people do it on purpose. Some people don't. Right. Because everybody out for a bag, the money bag. And so here we go again. So now you open that door. And so if we talking about this, and here it is. So it ain't everybody. It's just somebody or anybody. But again, you got somebody washing you up, or are we just showing out? Because the oppressor is
Wow.
the oppressor. And I'm not saying it's everybody, because some people were doing it for fashion, some people doing it for real. But right, and then you got the other person, and I'm gonna land with this. After you leave, now you got people going, the Brazilian wax stank, and they talking about you. So what are we saying? Yeah, I've
Wow.
seen it. It's all over TikTok, and it ain't me, because now they saying the BBL stink, right? So, right, I'm just saying.
Thank you, Sakina.
Right.
I've been to a Korean bathhouse, and like I said, mostly women do them. This thing with the male doing it, and it seems like whenever we do something, we put a little extra stank on. We put a little extra to it, and then now you have this video of this lady doing it.
That's been out. That's history. That ain't me.
Let's let Seven come in. He hasn't spoken, ladies. Go ahead, Seven. What's your take on thank you for patiently waiting. What's your take?
No problem, Queen. Peace to all the queens on the panel. Peace to my brother Keon and everybody in the chat. It's a interesting conversation, and I love that all the feedback that I'm getting from all you sisters. I mean, a lot of it I agree with. I think one thing that we're missing, that a lot of men, let me speak from a man's perspective, a lot of men see, I think is enablism, right? I think a lot of women, like-minded, like a lot of women, this culture, I think Western civilization, because not only black women do this, but white women do this too. I mean, if you ever seen Kanye West's wife walking around, she literally walked around with saran wrap, where you can see everything. And there's many different other examples. So I think it's just Western civilization. Women in this Western civilization over-sexualize themselves for attention and for likes and subscribes, and because it's enabled by the men who lust after them, by the like-minded women who don't, like my sister DePaul gave a parameter of what's acceptable for her sisters, and she speaks on it. So she keeps her sister accountable to a degree, right? There's not enough sisters out there keeping other women accountable, in my opinion, on certain things. There's not enough mothers out there teaching their daughters how to be respectful and women and where the lines are. And, there's not enough of that I see out here. And we have our sisters doing things like this and much worse. I mean, you have rappers like Sexy Red, who specifically talks about the most vulgarest things about, sexually oriented. I mean, she has a cosmetic line. If you read the name of the lipstick and of the blush, and oh my God, I mean, they're named to venereal diseases.
Right.
So I think there's an enable culture when it comes to women who present themselves like that, and it's a lot of factors with other women doing it. Like, do you think that other women enable other women to do that? Let me ask the sisters on the panels, if y'all, I want to hear your feedback on that. Do other women enable other women in that culture, like an Amber Rose, like who champions those types of behaviors and has a culture around that? Do you think other women enable that?
Men enabling it, because when there would be, our women are very intelligent, and I want to say this: there's nothing wrong with being sexy. When the brother said, "Thank you, King Element, stop policing women's bodies," that's not the same as the behavior that I'm a woman who, I get on social media, I'll show my shape, I'll show myself if I feel like it. Women can do what they like, but it's the actions, it's the things they're doing. And the men, and they're doing it not for this women, they're doing it because the men like it. That's why they're doing it.
Well, okay, I saw a video of this interviewer asked two different, they asked the men this question, asked the women this question, right? And they say, and these were young men. They said, do you prefer women with BBLs or do you prefer natural, right? Most of those young men said natural. They asked the young ladies, hold on, let me finish. The young lady said, do you prefer having a BBL or a natural, and most of them women said BBL. What I'm saying right now is there's a culture I see of women enabling. They do it for other women because the men are saying they don't BBL, so they ain't doing it for them, right? There
Yeah,
are some men. We're not saying all men don't like
I get what
BBLs,
you're
but
saying, but no,
I
that's
think
different.
most men don't like BBLs, and I think there's an enableism in that aspect of that. But go ahead, sister. Go ahead, finish
No,
your
but
thoughts.
you know what? That's a different conversation. But I will say that I want the other sisters to weigh in. That's a different conversation because you could be skinny acting like this online. That woman, we couldn't even see her booty. We saw him all her private parts. I get it. She's getting a service, and it's a mainstream. Obviously I know it's a service, but my point is having a BBL or not. And if men like BBLs isn't the same as how our sisters are behaving online. It's irrelevant of the size of her booty. But I will say this, that's all cap. Men like big booties. They need to stop with that BS. You don't like
That's a
BBLs.
fact.
They don't like BBLs because everybody talks about BBLs online. Every man I've ever seen, when he sees a big old shapely booty or big huge booty, he likes the, and I'm going to show you something right here. This sister has a big badonkadonk, and she is outside with nothing on. Okay. And she has a nice tiny waist. And guess what? She gets men because of that big booty. So all this, I don't like BBLs.
I'm gonna disagree with you, sister, that all men that all men likes BBLs. All men do like big booties, but all men do like all BBLs because all BBLs aren't equal too. So there's some bad ones and there's some good ones. But
yeah, well, most of them are good.
Speaking from a man's perspective, and me speaking to a lot of men, right? There's a lot of discussion amongst men how they don't like BBLs. I'm telling you.
I know, but you know what though? I know
you may interpret, but I know that sometimes women take what men say sometimes and say, "Oh, they just saying that," but they really mean this.
But they stay in the strip club. They also say they don't like fake boobs, but they stay in the strip club.
I was just
I hear less about the boobs than I do about the BBLs.
They also say they don't like wigs and weaves, but they're always trying to.
I do hear that.
How your
wigs
hair is
and
so
weaves.
long. Is it real?
They do that. I'm absolutely do know what I'm talking about. I'm just giving you from a male's perspective.
Okay. I'm not saying
my bad.
I'm saying in general, when I see a man sitting up on the panel talking about, I don't like BBLs, I don't like he'll be the first one like, damn, did you see that?
Right. Exactly.
Right. Like,
that's that general statement. Hold on. But that general statement is only made because men are attracted sexually to women. But when you go to when a man is with a woman with a BBL, it's mostly not positive. I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, he may be naturally, especially if it's done well, sister, because there's some bad BBLs out there. Of course, there's some good ones. Yeah. So I just don't want to.
Men don't like unnatural.
Because this is the accountability show. So I just want to make sure we have accountability. That's all.
No, so you don't let the girls in private, right? Check. Okay, got it. 7-star. Don't holler.
No, 7 is my brother.
See, now she's making general statements off of what I'm off of us having a conversation. And I don't want to do that to none of the sisters. So please don't do that to me.
You already made several general statements, dear sir. You made
I did not. No, I did not make general statements about all women. I'm talking about specific women, sister.
7.
So I did not make general statement. We're talking about sexual women who advertise themselves sexual.
7. I didn't mute you. My hands are right here. But 7, look at we know you're right. What you're saying. You're right. Men go around talking about how they can't stand BBLs. Let me just ask a question. It's real quick to you brothers. Do you like big booties?
For a fact.
Of course.
Okay, stop. Guess what? BBLs are big booties. Okay, let's move along.
See, I'm gonna let you get away with that, sis. I'm gonna let you get away with that because I don't want to go along with that. Go ahead.
Because the men, let me just, I'm gonna pass it on because this is the thing. I promise I won't go long. Men are on this thing about, her hair's fake. I thought it was real. Now I don't like weaves. Oh, that big old booty look juicy and delicious. Oh, it's fake. I don't like BBLs. Oh, her titties were looking so delicious. I wish I could touch them. And oh, they're fake. Oh, I don't like those titties, but I really do. You just don't like fake. You think you don't like fake, but you seem to be liking everything that's, Go ahead, Latoya.
And see, now you're telling us what we think. See, I thought this show was going to be different. I really did.
No. You can speak.
I mean, every time I'm talking about some accountability for some women, and now it's turning into what men think they like and what men is saying, but it don't really mean it. And I thought we was able to be here honest on this show and show some accountability for what I'm talking about. Of course, there are some men like that. But there's some men, of course, that do that, sis. But there's some men genuinely who don't like it. And we don't have a consensus on the. Hold on, let me just say this. I'm going to land my plane right here. We don't have a consensus on the percentage. I'm not going nowhere. I'm just going to say this. There's not a percentage of how many men like BBLs and how many men don't. Women may think they know the percentage because they have every man, especially if you're a beautiful woman, every woman that's beautiful, a man and what a man may deem beautiful, they get approached every day. So of course they think what a man thinks and says isn't really truthful because men lie to try to get to him. But I'm trying to tell you from a male point of view, there are men out there that generally feel that way.
One male's point of view.
Okay, thank you, Latoya.
Yeah, because there's only two of us on here.
And you stay here and keep on giving that point of view. Just because I'm against it doesn't mean that it's not valid.
I'm here 10 toes down with you, sis. I'm down with you. Believe me.
I hear you. I'm still gonna go against you. I'm still gonna say it
wrong. That's good. That's good. I like it. I like it.
Like it. I love it. Go ahead, Latoya.
So some of this is we need to separate social media and these people on panels and shows talking, and then when you are actually interacting in real life with regular men that aren't on these podcasts or men that don't listen to all of this stuff. So that's why it seems like men, it seems if you're online and you're looking at what the men are saying online, it doesn't seem like they know what they're saying because these guys change what they want and don't want on these podcasts this week. But when you're dealing with real, what I would call normal, like real solid dudes, they really don't get involved with all of this.
Yeah, I don't care.
I'm not saying that, there are plenty of these jokesters out here that believe in this red pill, that all that stuff that's going on now. You know what I'm saying? Last month they hated weed, but this month weed is all right. So last year the BBL was in. This week they leaking, and now they stink. So it's like we can't live and judge anything really. Oh Lord, off of this stuff. Not to say that those points aren't valid or represented outside of.
Yeah, because let's not turn this show around talking about men, though. Come on now, sisters. Let's not turn this show around and now we're man backing. Right?
We're talking about men. We're talking about the situation.
This is a woman's show.
I was saying the exact opposite. I would think you would agree. But in any case, I was talking.
Right. This is what I want to say. Just
Thank you, Latoya. Good point.
I don't want it to get twisted what I said because what I'm saying is it's women out here and it's men that's taking it and running with it. And this ain't men, but women are saying it too. I just saw Cardi B did a show or something, and then she admitted that after she had her babies, how her back end started stretching and whatnot, and how she was doing her little surgeries here and there, and now all of a sudden some leakage or whatever, like Vivica Fox was saying, and I guess it's the skin or what have you. They have to have the massages or whatever, and so now some of these areas, and they from not doing what they're supposed to do, the skin or whatever is having a smell. And
no, you're telling the truth, and I wish these ladies would do all this stuff.
When people are saying it stinks, right? And so when people saying it stinks, you see what I'm saying?
No,
that's what people talking about them, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
People are
there's a lot of women. There's a lot of women that are testifying to that, though, right? There's a lot of women that's online testifying to that.
like that, this is what I'm bringing to the table. They run back and talk about you. Just like when you go on and get these bikini waxes and stuff, then they run back and say, you stink, and all this carrying on. So again, what you said, Latoya, and I think Gemini said as well, when too much is not supposed to be exposed, and then y'all doing this for the public, right? And then the next thing you know, they saying this thing, right? Because y'all out here doing it this way. So again, you ain't supposed, some things ain't supposed to be advertised that way. And then when your back turn, they saying, I done 300 bikini waxes today, and I'm gonna tell you something, 295 of them stank. And everybody know who all go to your shop. So they going, girl, was you one of the 295 that stank? Because it's only 5 of them that didn't stink. So you know what I'm saying? The line is long. So what are we saying here, y'all? And I'm gonna
let me show this. Thank you, Sakina. I want to show this. Okay, so she doesn't have any clothes on. She has no clothes on in the corner store. Oops.
There you go.
Thank you. What was the mask for?
Exactly.
Listen, if you're going to catch something, you're going to catch it in your ass. What are you doing? Those shops don't be clean.
So she's completely naked in the corner store.
I personally don't see nothing wrong.
She's trying to go viral.
The lady walks in and walks right out.
You're right. You're right, Seven.
So
she's trying to go viral. Using her body.
Exactly. Because check out.
She's going viral. I think she has a great body. But the point is, I know, I can see she's had work done. I'm not even mad. And by the way, look like a BBL, but I ain't going to be saying nothing else to 7 to start. The point that I'm making is she could have done so much different. Like, I'm not telling her what to.
Sex is the quickest and cheapest.
No, Latoya, it's Queen. Sorry. I'm all for her being sexy. I'm all for her. Why couldn't she have thought of like?
No, not sexy. Sex is
sex. Yes,
sex.
But
yeah, that's not sexy.
No, that's not sexy.
I know that. That's my point. That's not sexy. And her point was, and at the end of the day, she wants to be shockingly sexy, but she doesn't know how. Yeah. So she thinks she could have gotten arrested and gotten a serious charge. They would have put her on the sex offender list because she's in an
But
area.
Society teaches her that though, sister. You know that, right?
Yeah. Well,
that she could use her body to get money quickly.
You know who's behind the camera? You hear a man snickering, and I'm not blaming the man, but I'm saying, why aren't men saying to her, baby, put on a bikini and go do that? Or
she ain't gonna listen.
Most men want to see her naked. But most men ain't gonna tell a woman not to be naked. Most men are not gonna tell a woman not to walk outside naked because they want to see her naked.
Right.
She ain't gonna listen.
Go ahead, ladies. I know Sakina, Gemini, DJ Genesis, weigh in on that. What do you think about that woman in the corner store?
I mean, either a man. I don't see who put a batter in her back to do that. It sounds like it was somebody who told her to do that.
Your mic, you need to get closer because we can't.
I'm saying it seemed like to me like that someone put a batter in her back to do that. There's no way that you would just do that.
Yeah,
let her speak.
Thank you, brother.
I mean, otherwise, why was there a camera? Why didn't she just walk to the store all the time like that? So that was planned, and they just came together and said, "Listen, I think we should do this." And who knows whether it's for like Cornhub or X.com or whatever they're trying to do, but they knew what they were doing when they did it. So can't feel sad about someone who willingly does something that's trifling. I mean, that's her.
But don't you think she represents Black women? I mean, obviously she does.
No. Represent me.
Well,
I don't know who she represents.
She's representing.
I don't think she represents
the collective. The collective. Listen,
she could be showed. She could be used as a representation.
I'm a Black woman, and I get what you sisters up here. You're queens. You don't do that.
I guess
but I'm starting. That's why I'm talking. I used to say, oh, they don't. The collective is that, oh, the black woman, she on. That's why men, I'm starting to get it now. That's why men think they can just get sex from us. That's why they just come up to
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Does Ebony Chocolate represent black woman?
Who's Ebony Chocolate?
I mean, it's a whole like a thing on the corn industry called.
I don't know anything about corn.
Well, but I'm letting you know there's a whole like
category.
But they don't advertise it. But corn isn't advertised like how she advertised herself. That's the difference.
I'm talking about mainstream.
Corn isn't advertised.
I haven't seen that video. I don't think it's even on regular. Like, how do you even find it?
When people think of let me talk to you. When people think of Asian women, they think of men. I'm talking men. I'm sorry, and I say people. They think sexually submissive men. They think sexually submissive, easy to handle because they're tiny. Okay, when people think of women, I'm talking about the mainstream men, not you brothers on the panel. When they think of Hispanic women, they say, ooh, feisty in bed, spicy, really gonna, make me speak Spanish while we're doing it. When they think of white women, they say, ooh, freaky, she gonna do anything I want. Ooh, she's wild. And when they think of us, they say, she'll let anybody hit it. That's how men are seeing. That's how they look at us.
Yeah.
Nah, but there's been a history of portraying black women like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I mean, the sister Sarah Bartman was portrayed.
They look at us first as sex. I'm not saying all men, but there's a large portion we're objectified. But there's different types of objectification. We are looked at as she wants it all the time. She'll give it to anybody.
Yes.
Yes.
But what I'm saying to you, sisters, that goes way back in history. That's been advertised for black women since slavery. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it's fair though, because it's like you can think of a sexual trope for all women though. Like it's not just black women.
I just said that. They have different ideas about all of us.
Right.
She did. She outlined all the different ones. She did.
Let me hear from the sisters. Sakina and Gemini, what do you think about that?
They said if you go back to Spike Lee, Do the Right Thing, right? That's when you said what you said, that's exactly what that took me to, that movie, Do the Right Thing.
Or remember the one, She's Gotta Have It? Remember that one that Spike Lee did in black and white?
What part specifically, sister? What part?
Talk 7, please. They said, look at the way she built, right? We were built for a good time. That's all we wanted. That's all they said. These were Italians, and because New York, y'all, and you know how big New York were, and they got mad at Wesley Snipes for dating their sister, and so, but at the same time, they were at that pizza place, and and all they wanted was that black girl, and they was just salivating about how she looked, how she was built, and just for that reason only. And that's all it was. You see what I'm saying? Because that's all they thought about with a black female.
Why do we fulfill that? Why are we doing that now? We didn't used to be like this. Look, I'm not saying we shouldn't be sexy. Why are we now fulfilling what they think about us? Why are we doing that as women?
Young girls are not being taught by their mothers.
Thank you.
Man, nah. Let's be real. Let's be real. They are getting paid. No moral substantial thought is going to outdo a $250,000 check a year payment. It's just that simple.
There's a lot of women that would turn that money down to keep their dignity.
That's facts, brother. That's facts.
That Klondike bar ain't that good.
Man,
not every woman is comfortable showing their bodies like that. Not every woman is comfortable doing that.
Now we about to have
It's not even about comfortability. It's about some people have enough dignity and respect. They might feel comfortable, but that just because you feel comfortable doing something don't mean that's something that you should have to do. I think it just comes down to this personal. Listen, when you're really in your feminine energy and your feminine power, you know that you don't have to do none of that to get the same amount of attention.
But what's wrong with it though? Why not? If I got the
that's why a lot of men right now going through the Diddy exchange, real Diddy, because of trying to get that contact bar.
It's because you won't be respected, Keon.
Man, forget y'all.
But watch this, sister. Watch this. Most men are hypocrites. He wouldn't want his daughter to do that. Most men are hypocrites. Brother Keon, you wouldn't want your daughter to do that.
I would not want her to do that, but if she decides
no, you wouldn't. So you're being a hypocrite to try to just say that women will do it because they get paid. No, I taught my daughter to respect herself, right, and to make her own choices. But I instill that to her till she don't put herself out that on the internet now. So I know that she respects herself enough to not to do that, and that's what I want for my daughter. But to go out there and say that all these other women doing it just to get paid, no. What the sister was saying was correct. Mothers and other big sisters, and we need that community teaching of the young girls and the young boys, both of them. But we're talking about young girls right now.
Real quick, excuse me. Genesis, you're on the panel. You're having a whole different conversation. This is my line, and Latoya and my sisters know. I say, what we don't do beekeeper outfits and astronaut suits. I don't do that. This has nothing to do with being covered up.
No,
it is the behavior. It is it's the behavior. So Genesis, come on, join the conversation over here. You in the chat.
No. I just No,
but I want to say this to you. It's not about what women, how their flesh is showing. First off, that's illegal what she did. She's foolish. As a friend and a sister, I would tell her there's a better way to go viral, boo-boo. You don't have to go into a bodega and offend people. Possibly people's children could be there. Okay? And your coochie and your titties are out. You could have gone into a closed space since you got it like that. Pretend it's a bodega.
If she went into a strip club and been on the stage doing that, listen, I have no problem with the women. They are talented.
Let me get my bone.
I have no problem with that.
Come on.
You talking about appropriate play.
I'm coming.
Yeah.
The bomb is coming.
Well, what's a
play?
Appropriate play. Men run up on her and try to gang her. Right.
Thank you.
Gang rape her. Now, clearly,
let me get another bomb on that one.
It's because people
bunch of heathens jump. I know. I had to get right.
She didn't ask for it, but at the same time, what is she doing?
It's not her fault if that happens.
It's not her fault, not at all. But she walks around.
Let me. Sorry.
What are we doing?
Why is Gemini so quiet? Gemini.
So in certain cultures they actually.
This ain't that though. We're not in certain cultures. We're in America. We can't.
What's wrong with us that we don't even understand or control ourselves, and we have to be a part of this whole thing of thinking about? Oh well, there's something wrong with the men that they can't control themselves when they see a naked woman. But in other cultures,
they walk around naked in America.
Yeah, okay, but listen, why? So
there's a reason for that.
So what's wrong with these men? What's wrong with these men versus the other men that can see a woman naked and not?
Wait a minute, you think those other men ain't doing something?
Naked. It ain't about these men. It's about these.
No, because they are.
Those other men do.
Around naked in front of, and now we got these children watching this naked woman walking around.
God.
It ain't got nothing to do with these men. It's about these kids looking at this big woman walking around naked.
You were gonna say big booty.
That's what we talking about.
I think it's both. I think it's both.
Big woman walking around naked around my kids, I would have bust her in her head because I can't understand why you naked, sister.
You better not bust her in her head.
Yeah, we don't want you to go to jail, sis. Yeah, don't put you in a position.
Don't tell me something wrong with you.
Gonna bust her in the head because
I'm gonna have to knock some sense in you because I know it ain't out you. Because you can order your food and you naked. Do you need my coat? Do you need my jacket? Because I know you got sense. You went in the store, you pulled out your money, you ordered your stuff. So I know you know what you're doing. And you're walking around.
She pulling money out from.
Exactly. And you ordered your stuff. So I know you know what you're doing. You're naked. And it's against the law. You're perverted. You're exposing yourself to the children. Now, if you don't care about your kids, that's you. but I care about mine and maybe somebody else's. So you're not gonna walk around us naked. Now, if you like that, that's fine with you. You take her home with you, and you let her walk around y'all naked. But she's not gonna walk around me and mine's naked. Okay, that's what I do.
Daddy, what's that? Son, I don't.
Right? Because that's not what we do in this culture in America. It's against all kind of crimes and things. It's exposure of indecency. We can't just act like, oh, in other cultures. We're not in other cultures. We're here.
And she in there talking about what else do I need? She's just playing right now.
She's shopping like it's okay.
You gotta make the clip.
She getting the attention she asked for, though. She's getting all. She wants all that. She did that for all the smoke.
You know that lady turned around and left.
Why she want attention though? Why she want attention?
So why should we stick our neck out and help her if 3 men try to attack her? We should help her with some clothing or everything else, but she naked.
I would help her.
No, we'll help her. We gonna help her and cover her up. That's what we gonna do.
Well, we shouldn't try to say it's okay to
I took down the audio, but she was like, "I need a bag. Can I have a bag?" I'm like, "Lord,
need one."
So anyway,
she'll get the money that she's trying to get. I'm sure. You know.
Can I ask this question? And this is about the first topic you was talking about. How do you think that Erykah Badu graduated up to that point of exposing herself in that way? Because I remember when she first came out, she evolved into this, and I still love the system. Don't get me wrong, but she used to be covered up. She was really slim before she had those babies. She had those babies, and then her body became as beautiful as it is today. And I don't have no problem with her exposing. Feeling sexy doing that, but do you think that she's doing it for the views and the clicks, just like this sister walking around?
Before I get to that, I'm going to answer that, but I want to show you something. See this sister here? Okay, look at her. I want to say something. Okay, you see her?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful body. I know she's cute. This is what I'm talking about. She's not doing all that mess. She's sweet. For me, this is my opinion. Yeah, she's sexy. She does a little slight, she knows what to do.
She threw it in the circle.
She knows what to do. But you get what I'm saying? This is my opinion. She knows that little jump. See, that little jump is more than that girl walking around naked. But they don't know how to do this. But there are sisters.
Well, you ever seen the clap video?
Do you get
you ever seen the clap video?
What I'm saying? Now,
yeah, sister.
I wouldn't be able to do this because I'm married and my husband already crazy if I just get up on there and showed a tiny bit of cleavage. But that for me, now again, I'm not policing women. The woman could show her scrub, the exfoliating the coochie. They do what they want. But for me, I think more sisters should be. She's absolutely sexy, sultry. She's not all covered up. She does her little booty coochie. She does her thing up against the wall. So she's very sexy. Now, for some people, that might be like, ooh, she's also this and that. Not for me, though. For me, there's that allure. There's that tease. Maybe I'm old and I know I'm older, but I'm old-fashioned. Get it? I'm old-fashioned. So I want to ask the people on the panel, do you get where I'm coming from? Like, compared to the woman walking around with a beautiful body, no clothes on at all. Who's going to get more attention, the right attention? Not some guy who just wants to use her and throw her away. Like guys who are quality, right? Anybody, just start sounding off. I want to know. You don't have to
I don't think it was about the right of attention to begin with. They were not trying to get the right attention. They were trying to get views and clicks. And they probably got attention. Them. But you're saying the right attention. I don't think that was the intention to get the right attention. I think the whole point was to get people to be like, oh, man, that's crazy. And then tally up the numbers. Men want to see that. They want to see some old wild stuff, and they didn't.
Nepal, I think for you, I get why you asked that question, but I also agree with Genesis in the fact that you have to understand. Not that you don't understand, but
no, I get it. Go ahead. I get what you're saying. We have to understand.
Like they don't care nothing about this conversation we having. It's not even about positive. They just want attention. and money, and that's it. Yes, clout. Thank you, lady. It's clout. That's it. Clout now is become the new idol. You know, as long as we can get some. In fact, some people will do it just for the clout. They ain't even getting no money. I bet you right now that girl still have to work a job.
She working a job, all right.
If you're gonna do all of that, go OnlyFans and let's get the real fans and stop working. But for some people, the clout is the goal. You know, so now I think probably morally and spiritually, but people don't care about morals and spirituality now. They care about clout.
That's what I said.
So, yeah, I think what the sisters talk about is try to be more innovating in what you're doing, because there's sisters out there that are making videos where they're completely covered, have nightgowns on, and they're making that thing clap, right? It's called clap videos. They ain't showing none of their, all you hear is that, make that thing clap, pop, pop. All you hearing is that pop, pop, right? So they're getting views, and it's not as vulgar as the sister walking around, like the sister said. They're being a little more innovative in how they do their videos. And I agree with it.
Which one got more views?
Of course. That's why she did it. That's my point. Originally. That's why she did it. She did it to go viral.
Hello. That's all it really boils down.
You would say it's because of some more like because we not teaching our babies and stuff like that. That's what y'all.
Man, that's part of it. That's part of it, brother.
I showed you the extreme with the woman in the store, but and the one getting herself scrubbed. But you know, there's regularly on social media our sisters, our women, beautiful women. A lot of them are looking great. They like the one I showed you. They're being sexy, showing their little booty, doing their little twerk, like perfect cooking with Kaya. I thought she was awesome.
I love cooking with Kaya. Black women were hating on that sister.
So if you're talking about delivery, look at this though, ladies. You're talking about delivery. She went viral. She was successful. She was so loved, but the ladies canceled her.
Yeah.
The ladies got her canceled. Now, you see what I'm saying? You talk about, it's for clout, but she did it the right way. Again, this is my opinion. I mean, I want to hear from
I agree.
She, for me, was super sexy. She was twerking and doing all the sexy outfits, and she wasn't restricted, but she had a wonderful game plan. She didn't push it to the vulgar. And then let me serve the food on my crotch, my legs.
And that food looked good too. That food looked good.
I guarantee she had a lady in her life who told her, or very many ladies who told her, girl, you're going to get all the men and they're going to all be mad at you. They're going to all be mad at you. So it's not just, I'm not just talking about your social media account. I'm talking about a lot of these women aren't just on here to get big channels or big social media. They're looking for attention from men. They're looking for socializing. They're looking for money. They're looking for the man that will come to them, the high value man, and say in their inbox, like, yeah, girl, come on, you and me. You know what I'm saying? So what do you ladies think about that?
That only brings you tricks. That don't bring you no high value people. High value people are not jumping in your inbox because you out here naked.
Come on, Latoya, talk on
facts.
that.
That's fact.
Now you can pull in a gang of tricks.
What do you ladies think? Where's Gemini? Did she leave?
Can we agree that there's different type of
I'm listening.
I want you to weigh in.
I know, but when I hear something I want to weigh in on, I will.
You had your boxing gloves on earlier.
I got
Let's start talking about the exfoliation. What?
But hold on, can we agree that there's different types of women in this world? You have the kind of harlot kind of woman, then you have the more subdued type of woman, the more. So why are we judging that woman for what she's doing? It takes all kinds.
I think this is a culture that's growing amongst the young women, though.
By the way, none of the women I showed tonight were harlots. Not even the dummy with their clothes on. She's just a dummy to me. But I see that people, of course, be like, she's a hoe, she's a slut. But guess what? Guess what, ladies? Even us, when we go in that same store, they're gonna say, "Oh, here's another one of them. She's just like the other one," and we'll be fully clothed.
Come on.
And that's an issue. I know, because I get approached like that as a Black woman. I see men coming up to me and I'd be like, Does he really think that I like how he's approaching me?
Yes.
Let me
Because
ask
he's
Well,
y'all
do
a
you
working
think
for.
that that's because somebody else was like naked on the street that she's approaching you this way, or just because that's how he approaches women? Period.
No, it's because he thinks black women are easy. Yeah.
No, I
Fact.
think
Oh my
Fact.
gosh. Now that's a general statement. I don't think that everybody thinks that black women are
I
easy.
didn't
But
say
wait,
everybody, but most of these men out here be thinking we're easy.
I think that some
I
men
don't know.
don't know how to
About
approach
that one.
women.
I don't know about that one. But wait, let
Well,
me
tell me
ask
what
you.
what do you
Wait.
think?
So let me ask you this then. So is this naked lady? Because the whole problem I would have with any of that, with her being naked, simply is just that the fact that she's naked, and people have a thing about if it's the
Indeed.
same. It's the same type of issue I would have with the women who don't wear underwear. I don't want to sit in a place where women don't wear underwear because I just don't. And so a person that's naked,
I do.
and she's all and she's all over and she's touching things in the store. For me, I'm not going back to that store just simply because there was a naked person in the store. Now, not because of anything else, it's because it's the thing, right? It's a real thing. And again, so this is the same situation as the women who are clothed but don't wear underwear, right? And they walk all over the place and sit on everything. They're in your car. Sometimes you don't know if your friend is a woman who does not wear underwear. They're at work, they're at the restaurants, they're everywhere. So this is the same issue, right? Clothed or no clothes. Correct.
And let me say
Tell
this.
them I love them.
I mean,
Tell them I love them.
first of all,
hold on.
correct. No, I'm asking correct or not. Which one?
I don't know. I can't really say. I agree with you. I don't want to go anywhere where people don't wear underwear and stuff, though, because I don't want to sit anywhere or be around them. I think it's bad hygiene.
It's nasty. I do too.
But I need to address this fool, Lou Smalls. Yeah, because he saw your video. There is no video that I have, fool. You weird ass. I won't curse. And Nepal, stop. I'm talking about in the gym and nobody's approaching me sexually. I don't like niggas in my face. Excuse me. I don't like people in my face. And by the way, they're nobody from online. And the last thing is that was an illegal thing that Solar Mind did. He shared my private pictures of my breast, nothing of my crotch, but even if it was my crotch, of my breast to everybody on the internet, and then he started selling them with Taharka Bay. So if you're trying to shame me for being a victim of a sex crime, you're a fool.
Shame on you.
Ain't nobody
shame
coming
on
up.
everybody who bought it. Shame on they ass.
Yes, and thank you. And last but not least, excuse me, Queen. Last but not least, let me say this. Ain't nobody ever inbox me in a nasty way on the internet from when they know me and see me. Not one brother, not even one brother has said something filthy to me in my inbox. Now, there's some creeps that go around Facebook and they're just spamming girls with their penises. Like in the past when I was a Hebrew Israelite, before anybody ever shared my private pictures. So I just want to check this nigga right here. Don't come at me with that. They saw your video. Nigga, I don't have a video. I'm not Kim Kardashian. There's no video. Oh, you mean when I was trying to twerk and I had on a pair of a thong on and it was private?
Good Lord.
There's no video of me online.
Lou Ross.
Yeah. And by the way, the law is still going to get his ass. I don't care if a Negro or a woman. I didn't say the B word. See, I'm working on my language. I don't care if somebody gets on the internet. She better stop. I better not stop. Shit, it's against the law to do that. Nature Boy had 9 years added to his life sentence for revenge porn. Nobody told that nigga to send my shit to Taharka Bay and start selling it. Now let's move on to our regularly scheduled program. Sorry, y'all.
The question is, Nepal, what is the difference? Because I remember when the red carpet was the place where the dresses was the fashion show, right? Mm-hmm. And now the red carpet is still that, even though the dresses are a little more tasteful, right? they're a little more cut up, a little more cut out, but the red carpet is still the red carpet, right? And so the show, I know how they tried to beat up the BET shows with the women's attire again, but what are we saying?
I'm so sorry, y'all. I promise this won't be about me. This is my point. I don't care if women are sexual. I can send nasty pictures to my boyfriend or my husband. I'm saying as a woman can. You can do all the freaky things you want privately, in my opinion. Don't get it twisted. You ain't have no business with your pictures. I'm a grown-ass woman. A grown-ass woman, and I enjoy sex.
And you ain't got no business, and you ain't got no business responding to that. Shame on you afterwards.
Yeah, let me just let this fool know. Can you block this dirty ass Negro? All right,
thank you.
I want
Thank
anything,
block
Lady
both
G,
of them.
H. Millette, anybody that talks about me because they're over there playing with themselves and watching those illegal pictures and videos, please block them.
Come on.
Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I promise. I'm gonna just take a break because he said I'm mad. I'm very angry, fool.
Yeah.
I don't want my shit out there with you looking at it, you weirdo. I don't. I want to see him in jail for what he did. Right. I said jail because I want to keep it legal. And then for a woman to come on the internet and start threatening my life and threatening my livelihood over her boyfriend doing something like that is such an egregious thing to do. If my husband sold some woman's nudes without her consent, I would leave his ass. God is my witness. God is my witness. Go ahead and mute it, I promise. Get back to the show. I don't want to ruin the show, but don't come in here talking about that's a sexual offense. Okay. Now, especially if I wanted to sell my pictures and be naked, it damn sure wouldn't be to the consciousness community. I'll be on OnlyFans making a lot of money, right, Latoya?
Right, you'll be broke forever on the chitlin circuit. You better get on OnlyFans.
I would come in here dressed in $100 bills. Like, what y'all doing up in here? Y'all still doing this consciousness thing? I'll be back. I'm going back to OnlyFans. I'll see you soon. Anyway, all right, my loves. Let me go ahead.
Sister Latoya asked a great question. Can you ask it again? Because it was a great question.
Did I ask a question?
No, that was
you made a statement. I think you made a statement.
No, that was me.
Oh,
that was you. Okay. Yeah, that was a great question or a statement. You was talking about the young women and how they dressing on the red carpet and what was.
That was Sakina. That was me.
Oh, that was Sakina. Okay.
I was asking when we dressed for the red carpet, which was a gala and an affair. And so we dress like that still because even though the dresses are a little more cut out, a little more, right? But it's still the same purpose and it still serves for the same thing to show the dresses and the designer off, right? And the purpose was to make the women look beautiful and to show off curves, legs, and the body, right? And so now men got those desires met. And the women got to show off what they wanted to show off, right? And still keep things secret, right?
Yeah.
And
now
they're getting bashed for it. Because remember, these outfits were also to be comfortable while dancing. Because they're not syncing like they used to. That's the big difference too. When they were singing and dancing.
The galas and stuff, Sakina.
Huh?
That's the galas and stuff. When they walk down that red carpet, that is designer prostitution. That is not a designer gown. That is the cha-cha to the who has the high, or the women are parading themselves down that gala, right? Okay, as the highest bidder for the sexiest or the perfect cha-cha that they're looking for. And those dresses are just as revealing and tight and see-through.
Most of them are married, though.
Right, okay, but wait. Even when they're married, though, the afterthought on that is, oh man, he got himself a high-end cha-cha. Not he got himself a high-end designer gown or woman. That's not the gala. It's just legal prostitution. They get to parade the you know the pass arounds, you know, or people who still are in that life, or the rituals, whatever you want to call it, you know, just with a fitted gown, you know. But
Okay, well,
Well, here's
I
the
don't
question that's
know.
going into that.
Hollywood
Let me
now.
ask this question. What do your sisters think about what Felicia Rashad made? I don't know if you guys heard her comment on how the young women, how women are today, about how they dress and what she thinks feels deemed to be appropriate, or how women should be, and versus the women that tried to cancel her for her opinions. Did anybody see what Felicia Rashad had to say on that
Yeah, I
topic?
saw it.
Can I say something before everybody gets started? Where was that energy when all these when she was supporting Bill Cosby and all those women were saying that they were being essayed by him? I didn't hear her say one thing about men, the allegations. Now, then she comes out and attacks, and I love Felicia Rashad, but then she comes out and attacks young women for wearing coochie cutter shorts at Target. And it's one thing that I'm saying about women, like we need, I want to understand why we're exploiting ourselves. She was saying that they're disgraceful and that they should be ashamed of themselves. We're not the same in what we're saying. I'm trying to tell women, you're so beautiful. You can be sexy. You can wear your short shorts. You can do what you like. You can be sexual. It's the way we're marketing ourselves. I think it's low grade. So I was disappointed in her that she was so very, very critical of women, but had nothing to say about Bill Cosby at all. I don't even know if he's guilty, but she didn't have anything negative to say about him. Not even a little bit. And we all know too that
Now, did she say
her and her sister, we know they used to be partying back in what was it? I know you know, Latoya, because I'm you're or
In the
Sakina.
70s and 80s, they partied real hard.
What was
Yes,
that
they
place
did.
called? Studio 54.
Oh, Studio 54. Studio
So
54.
I'm just wondering, where was all that energy? But that's my opinion. I was just
That's a great
so
point.
is this
That's a
video,
great
so
point, Ted.
wait a minute, Seven, hold on. So did she make another video outside of the Breakfast Club? Because I heard her on the
No,
Breakfast Club and she
that's the
didn't
one.
say
That's
any
the
of
one I'm
that.
referring to.
She was, she was very respectful in what she said. And I didn't hear her say all of that. So, you know, I was just wondering if she made another
didn't
video,
hear
because
her
I
say
saw
that?
it. And I saw it, and I just thought,
You didn't
I
say
thought
just
it
go.
was,
You didn't hear her say just
I
go
thought
down
it
to
was
the Target.
respectful.
You didn't hear
No,
her say just go down to the Target.
yeah, but I'm just saying the way she said it was not, it wasn't offensive.
She didn't.
And
When
then
they
she
asked
said
her
it
about
very,
Hollywood, which is known to be essaying people, blackmailing people, exploiting people, telling people if you don't have sex with me, you can't make it. She knows that, but she went right off of Hollywood and started talking about women in a similar way how we are discussing women. But she didn't. For me, she didn't say, "Listen, I did it. I was young. It's a way to be sexy." She was just like, "They look disgraceful."
yeah, I didn't get that though. I didn't get that from her. I didn't
Well,
get
I
that,
could
and I
play the
saw it,
clip,
and I
y'all.
actually saw it. Yeah, I thought
So do you
she was
agree that
respectful.
she didn't, what do you think about her not mentioning anything about Hollywood or Bill Cosby, but she has a lot to say about
That
young
was, yeah,
women?
but that wasn't the
That's a
question that
great
was
point.
posed to her.
Do
That
you
wasn't
know
the question.
she was young once?
Of course, but that wasn't
And
what
you
they
know
were
she
talking
used to
about
wear sexy clothes,
at
and her
all.
sister did too.
Yeah, that's not what they were talking about
Real
there.
sexy clothes. Her sister's
Yeah,
nipples were
her
always
question
showing on
wasn't.
everything.
Yeah,
Fact. Fact.
her question wasn't nipples, and her question wasn't whether she partied hard in the 70s or 80s.
No, actually, she was talking about
She
young
just
women,
had
how
an
they
opinion.
dress.
Yeah, she just had an opinion, a small opinion about the way young women are dressed
But she
today.
dressed the same way when she had a
Oh,
nice body and was young.
okay, but it was an opinion. It wasn't a matter of fact.
It's a hypocritical opinion because
Fact.
her sister's nipples were showing. They did cocaine in the
So
studio.
Fact.
Let me finish,
so
Gemini.
wait. So then the question I have, so it's a crime to be young and have done it, and then when you're asked when you're older, you have to, there's some rule where you have to mention what you did in order to
Yeah.
talk about the next thing.
Yes,
Is that a
exactly. Now
rule?
let me answer you.
Oh, I
Let me
don't know
answer you.
about that
Let
rule.
me answer you why. I'm not going to get up here and tell women, you're that woman who walked in that store, she was extreme. her body was beautiful. If she had on a pair of shorts, tiny shorts, and her nipples were showing through her little t-shirt, I'm not going to go, oh, you're so disgraceful. No, because I used to wear sexy clothes when I was young, and I had a nice little 18, 20-year-old, even 30-year-old body. I'm not going to get on the internet and just talk. She was only talking about clothing. That's the difference.
Okay, play the clip.
She was talking about clothing. She wasn't talking about women out there, getting their coochie scrubbed on Facebook. And is there a line that we should draw? She was very critical. And I'm going to say it again. I will play it. My issue mostly is that she didn't say anything about Bill Cosby. What happened with him?
Couch.
And she didn't say, when they specifically asked her about Hollywood, she completely deflected onto young women. And as a Black woman who has done the same thing when she was younger.
Yeah, play the clip. I don't remember all that. That's a lot.
As a Black woman, I will play the clip. As a Black woman, woman who used to get it in and wear sexy clothes, and her sister and her used to be partying with their nipples and titties and booties out when they were young. Now all of a sudden she's talking about how disgraceful young women are. I'm paraphrasing.
No, I didn't go like that though.
Okay, we'll get it. So she didn't say forget about Hollywood.
That was not how the conversation went.
She didn't say.
I have it in the back right now.
She said it respectfully. She said it respectfully. It was respectfully.
My point is, she can say it respectfully in some people's eyes. For me, she's a big hypocrite because she was doing the same thing when she was younger, wearing sexy clothes, and she didn't say a damn thing about Bill Cosby, who got arrested and put in jail for women saying that he SA'd them. When they asked her about Hollywood, she just went straight to young women. Let's get it. Let's hear it. Okay, so let me play it. Fair use.
Today, let's listen. You came up in an era, Ms. Rashad, where dignity and grace were
everything. Wait. It's too low.
Look at how wild Hollywood is now, and you just think to yourself, boy, y'all got it easy. Y'all wouldn't have got away with that.
Can you rewind it? Because you got to hear his question.
You'd have to look at how where everything. So do you ever look at how wild Hollywood is now, and you just think to yourself, boy, y'all got it easy. Y'all wouldn't have got away with that in my day.
You'd have to look at Hollywood. I could look at the way young ladies dress. The young ladies are so beautiful. And I don't mean to be critical. And I hope young ladies listening don't take this as personal criticism, because I don't mean it that way. But you're young queens. I'm taken aback when I see
no, they're not.
On a college campus, young women dressed in strips of clothing. But more importantly than that, no man wants his woman to be out like that.
Pause it for a second.
So we're taking your calls, 800-585.
That's it. So as you heard, this is the respectful part. I take issue with her talking about how women should put on clothes. That's a different conversation, in my opinion, than what I'm talking about. We're talking about behavior and clothing. Why is she worried about what they're wearing on college campuses and is strips of clothing? Why is she worried about that? She used to dress like that herself, her and her sister.
She was asked that specific question, though. So she
No, she wasn't. She wasn't asked that specific question.
And then they edited it. They edited. So it went to, he asked a question about Hollywood. They edited, and then she said Hollywood, and then
they didn't edit it. You got to play it again. You said you don't have to worry about.
Well, we don't know. We don't know where the edit came from. There was some editing, but we don't know if she was cut out.
Play it again. They didn't edit it. They asked about Hollywood.
Yeah, they did. It wasn't edit.
They asked her about. Do you mind? They asked her about Hollywood, and she went straight into talking about girls on college. Okay, I'm gonna say it again.
Yeah, because it was edited.
What do you think about when I talk? One of
right there, at that point, right there, it was edited.
Now you said what you can. I speak without us both talking. They asked her about Hollywood. I'm gonna say it again. This time I want to say it by myself. They asked her about Hollywood, and she said, "You don't have to worry about Hollywood. Just look at the young ladies today." No, we want to hear about Hollywood. We want to hear about Bill Cosby, who's been accused by 200 women for SAing women, and you supported him all the way. You didn't go
drugging and SAing.
This is my problem. Like, why didn't she even say one thing about him getting accused for SAing women? Now she wants to talk about women.
Was that her
Now
moment to say
talk
that
about women wearing small, slinky
at the Breakfast Club?
She's talking about young women wearing skimpy clothes.
But that's appropriate. That's an appropriate topic at the Breakfast
No,
Club.
it wasn't.
Not whether or not Bill Cosby SA 49 women. Because it was 49,
they asked
right?
her. Yes,
or
it is.
50.
They asked her about Hollywood.
But how
Yeah,
do
and
you
the
stop
appropriate
Hollywood?
and stuff they wouldn't get away with in her time. So it was about how they were dressed. Napaz right.
They asked her
In
about
Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Okay, and so you don't see that. So there's no connect. So no, there's no connection when she says Hollywood, and then she goes into the college campus, because a lot of times when you watch movies on the TV made in Hollywood, those are exactly some of the scenes that you're seeing. So I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding.
No.
I mean, both of you guys are right. If you listen to his question, he asked her. If you listen to his question, he said they're getting away with stuff that they wouldn't get away with in your time. So
that was fact. They got away with
in
a lot
Hollywood.
of things in her time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
I agree.
definitely the framing of the
I
question.
agree with you. Yeah,
No,
he asked the question wrongly.
Play it again. Instead of her saying, you know what, Hollywood's crazy. You know, we got men up here we got the Diddies, we got the Bill Cosbys. It's out of control. She went straight to girls on how girls dress today.
She did.
Coming in. Sonetta, I'm going to call you. Are you calling me? Go ahead and play it again. Oh, wait.
Yeah, she did, but it was an appropriate topic for the Breakfast Club, and I will keep standing on that because it was.
No, you can.
So nobody
would have your opinion.
If she would have started talking about Bill Cosby, who would have watched that? Nobody. But
she didn't have to talk about Bill Cosby.
So for her to sit here and just go straight to the college campus and give and share a little advice, on, hey, young ladies on the college level, wear little clothes. That's what we're talking about right now.
No, what he asked her.
But she never spoke up for the accusers, though. She's never spoken up for the accusers.
So was the question specifically about women, or was it?
Look, let's listen again.
Yeah, listen again.
Go to the beginning where he asked her about Hollywood and how wild it is in Hollywood. What happened? Oh, I think Sonetta doesn't want me to play it. Maybe. Okay.
Oh, because of yeah.
But
because of the Breakfast Club.
I mean, we didn't even play it long. We were doing commentary.
Nepal.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you forgetting how this YouTube work?
What do you mean?
You playing on the Breakfast Club, and you don't even have the sign up that say, and fair use and none of that. You can't let Genesis play anything she wants, Nepal.
That okay.
I got flagged 2 years ago because of the Breakfast Club.
Okay, Sonetta, I will take it down off in post-production. But I will say for the record,
you're not a rookie at this.
No. For the record, whenever you go to play something off of somebody's channel, you say, we could use it if we only stop with commentary. That's what you've said, but I won't do it. Whenever I say don't do it, you say we can stop it with commentary.
That's a particular video, not them type of people.
And I hear you. Sorry about that. So we will definitely edit that out. I can do that post-production. But what happened to Gemini? I think she dropped off. I mean, not no. Okay, there's Gemini. So yeah. Anyway, sorry about that. I will definitely. I misunderstood.
I didn't click Genesis off. I clicked off the video and she went with the
Got
video.
it. Genesis. Okay, so yeah, so that was my point, though. I get what you're saying.
You're gonna have to edit that out, Nepal, as soon as this show is over.
I'm gonna do it right after. I will keep the audio down off of it. I think, and then I'll black it out. I think we'll still keep the chat if I do that. I hope so. Damn. I hate that the chat disappears when you edit it. But anyway, go ahead. I'm handing the mic over. That was my stance on it. He asked her, about whatever. Y'all know. Go ahead. Talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, because technically, when we're doing, hold on, Seven. So technically, if we're going to sit here and say, you know what, let's share our wisdom with the young ladies, then technically there is no, right time to dive in there and do it. It's either you get your moment to say what you want to say for a few short minutes and move on, or nothing at all. So there is no right or no wrong way to sit here and offer, respectful advice, because it's something that needs to be heard. And this is the point of what we're talking about today. Some things you know, you just need to share it. And so she shared it. That was her moment.
I personally think we
My
need to
whole
leave
thing
the
is
whole
how
everything else stuff
how
alone.
how she tried to get how people tried to cancel her because she had an opinion, and I
Right.
think that
Even I
because of
want to
her
cancel
age,
her.
yeah, people were trying to cancel her. There was a lot of um, slandering of her by a lot of women online, calling her a pick me and all kind of things.
Yeah.
And I think that's what was wrong. I didn't agree with everything she said, but I agree with some of the stuff. But I don't think she should be canceled for having an opinion.
No,
Especially in old fashioned.
the truth of the matter is that when any black woman gets on this wicked ass internet and says anything that tries to steer women towards modesty,
Facts.
self-respect,
Facts.
dignity, because remember,
Yes.
Stephen Curry's wife was very pleasant, fully clothed, and was just saying, "Hey, ladies, like we can be like." It was not accusatory.
Right.
Who ran that young lady into
Facts.
Yes, they did.
Yes,
okay,
it was out of control.
so let's
Yes.
not even have the conversation of how she said. Listen, anytime any woman tries to steer women in a way of modesty, it is met with, "Oh, you OB,
Conviction.
oh."
Yep.
Yep.
This
Yeah.
so
It's met with
this is the
hostility.
society we live in, right?
Yeah. Why is that a disconnect in that with the women
Be-
that think that way versus the other women?
Latoya said it best because it's the internet. She
It's
said she
Mm.
right spot on. It's the energy of the internet, right? Because technically it's all that people want to hear is drama, negativity, that type of stuff. So, it's the energy of it. And that's the way it
That's
is. So
why I take it
people
back
with good
to
standards have
parenting.
to walk lightly, tread
Right.
lightly rather.
Yep.
Like
Fact. Fact.
my mother was in my life, until she passed. But I mean, that was just recently. She's been in my life. So growing up, I remember watching TV with my mother. And if a woman was dressed in a certain way or doing something, she would say, it really don't take all of that. She didn't try and beat me and say you can't do it, but she had a way of letting me know you don't have to do that. I remember watching my mother put on makeup and getting dressed and how she just held herself in a certain way. I'm thankful for that. I realized
That's
that a lot
beautiful.
of our young girls do not have that experience. So they look
Fact.
to TV and celebrities for guidance where we all know that is the bucket bottom of where you should be trying to get these lessons into your life. So until we, as the Black family, figure something out, or people that don't really want to raise kids in a way that's going to uplift us as a culture, until that stops happening, this problem is going to always be here.
That part.
You
And yeah, you know what? Because I was gonna ask, so then, because that was leading me up to my next question. So then why are we not talking about the root of it, where it
right,
actually stems from?
right.
Because we
Right. And it
disagree on the
stems
root.
from exactly. Well, because it stems from too many places. I agree that a
There's a
part of
lot
it
of
stems
factors.
from home. Yeah, a part of it is social media. A part of it is their friends, their peers. A part of it is what they see in their environment when they go to school, when they come home, and even having just to deal in their neighborhood. I mean, there's a lot of factors at play here. So there is a root cause. But at this point, depending on the age range, because to be honest, if they're in their 20s, they're figuring out life. 30s, they inching up. By the time they hit 40, they'll figure it out. But if we're just talking about women, 40 and above with this type of behavior, then yeah, we definitely have to have a different type of conversation, because what is going on, right? But
I think to tie
I don't
into what
know.
you're saying, sister. I think to the tie in what you're saying, the core is just the family structure. I mean, because if you have both the mother and the father there, they can shield the young girls and the young boys from a
Sometimes.
lot of these
Sometimes.
things. Yeah, yeah. I think majority of the times,
The
there's going to be
majority.
some seepage in. But I think majority of the time, parents who have their children's best interests in mind and are always conscious of it, those children are gonna come out better than children who don't have any type of nobody's watching over them. There's nobody's teaching them anything. I remember sitting when I was a young man, and my grandmother was sitting there, my mother was sitting there, my aunties, they were all around each other, building with each other, with my little cousins and my little nieces. They all saw the different stages of women. And I think there's some women, like you said, that didn't have what the sister had, seeing those examples. So when you have that breakdown of that family structure, then there's no examples. There's going to be greater influence of people who don't have those examples, or those leaderships, or people just tending to them, right? So I think the family, and a family that's for the child's best interest, is what's the core thing that's causing that.
See, my mom would express to me, you see what them people do out there? They don't live in 17. They don't live in my house, okay? So peer pressure don't exist in Diane's house, and it didn't exist because Diane didn't allow it. you know, so you can blame other people and put it on all this other stuff, but as Black people, you can't negate that the family structure is not correct.
Yeah, you know what? But that's partial, because you can, because the thing about people, right? When you give birth to people, they grow their own consciousness, and you never know what your child is looking at as an example for themselves. You see what I'm saying? So when that child becomes, that thing in which you feel isn't right, sometimes they will go and say, hey, I became like this because of my parents. When that's not the truth, you became like that because of YouTube.
That's a fact.
But there's studies and statistics that show that, sister, that families that are together, children come out to be more better than they would, and there's always going to be exceptions to the rule. I would, because if you look at the studies,
right, because that's not true.
Okay. I'm sorry. If you don't like my verbiage, you get the gist of what I'm saying. There are family.
That word.
Yeah. There are some families.
Comprehension.
No, I comprehend what you're saying, sister.
Word choice, not verbiage. Word. That's singular.
Well,
not
okay.
plural.
Well, if you didn't like the word I used, thank you for correcting me. I have no problem with that. That's cool. But you get the gist of what I'm saying, right? Because what I'm saying is that family structures, children more than likely come out of, they're less likely to have dysfunction. Not to say there's no outliers to that, but they're less likely to have dysfunction. They're more likely to move forward and things that are positive for them than negative. That's what I'm trying to say.
Let me add,
and that's fine, and that's true. Hold on, let me just respond. And that's fine, and that is true. But then again, it's a partial. We're just right now kind of outlining a lot of different factors that play, and why a person, especially a woman, depending on how old she is, definitely for me, if she's a certain age and above, you got some splain Lucy, you got some splaining to do. But when you're a younger person, life is happening to us all, and we've been 20 or 30 before, so we know what's going on in the mindset of that person. But that lady, the one that Nepal showed, where she was in that store, she looked to be about mid 30ish. I can't even say she looked at
almost 40.
Yeah. Houston, we got a whole problem with that now. That's something else. That's like, wow.
But we gotta be real with ourselves, man, because I hear everything y'all saying, all this moral talk. Every time that we talk about strippers, they always, especially when they're younger, they always saying, I'm a stripper because I'm trying to get myself through college. I promise you, it ain't got nothing to do with no morals. Them girls know what the hell they doing. We know right from wrong as soon as we turn 12, 13. Really, I say 8 years old, you know what right from wrong is. When they turn 19 years old, they know that being a stripper is wrong. They know that being a prostitute is wrong. They know that doing OnlyFans is wrong. But the fact that they getting $100,000, $90,000, $50,000, hell, even $10,000 a month is the reason why they're bypassing that moral code within themselves.
Guess what? Guess what?
Socioeconomics socioeconomics, which that's what we would term that as socioeconomics, does play. That's another factor, and it's real.
Yeah,
the money.
And most of them don't even save that money and have nothing to show for. So peace, H. Melez, love you.
And I want to say that too, because when going against, not really against what Asar saying, but I'm gonna give it that 50-50 with these statistics, because I don't like statistics, right? Because they don't add in all the numbers right when it comes to us. Now, when we say that, because I know for a fact that when they add in the single moms or the two-parent families, especially when it comes to the two-parent families that are let's say Christian families. I hate to say it that way, but the Christian families, I know for a fact, the preacher's daughter or the preacher's son, right? They tend to run off first, right? She runs off to get a boyfriend. He runs off and be a thief or a hustler, right? And that's because of all the things that they are not allowed to do. They hurry up to try to run off to do it. You also have Mormons that once they get 16, they get 2 years to live a regular normal life before they get to decide if they're going to be Mormons or not, right? And so you saw in Coming to America where they got to go sow their royal oaths for a minute to decide if they was going to take that tribune marriage, right? So when we had this conversation the other day, Nepal, I was trying to get in to say that when reasons why people was having all this thing about their wives is because they used to have to ask the father about marrying the wife, and then they had to bring in that that they called it a booty, but you had to bring in certain things in order to say that you could provide for the wife. You see what I'm saying? And this is why they asking now what you bringing to the table, right? Because you had to show to the father that you was able to provide for the wife, right? That's why you was bringing in those packages and all those things to make sure that you was able to provide for that wife. Now you trying to say, what can she bring to help take care of? No, she wasn't supposed to bring nothing. You were supposed to bring all these things to make sure that you could prove to that father that you could provide for his daughter.
Okay.
Okay, so but
there is a dowry though. But go ahead, you cooking.
Because everybody kept talking and I couldn't get in. You see what I'm saying?
You got it. You got it. Keep going.
Hey, well, this conversation ain't fair. We ain't gotta let you in.
No, but here we go.
You know what, Gemini?
But I'm just saying right now.
I'm just kidding.
I'm saying, here we go. Right now, we're trying to say statistically, right? Because we know there are a lot of strong women. Even if something happened with the father, that she had to still press on, right? Not nails, life. And she made that way. And them kids still went to college. Them kids still had those same degrees and whatnot. You see what I'm saying? And they made good lives for themselves. Just because it was two parents there was two parents there, and sometimes that second parent been knocking her head and thumping her head, and that didn't make them better because it was two there. It might have been two there with one income. Y'all have seen the stories, y'all have heard the stories, and that didn't make it better just because it was two parents there. We've had stories about, is there something going on at home? No. That was the statistics saying those things. I've heard some of the weirdest I'm finna land with this. I've heard some of the weirdest conversations right now with them telling you how to raise your children. People that never had children, that don't even use reverse psychology and will tell children, listen, I have to go to work and I have to pay bills and all this other stuff. Like, this is gonna make a child understand. This is the plan, but you said spare the rod and spoil the child. Well, who said that? Thor?
No.
I gotta challenge you on that, sis. I gotta challenge you just on this.
Right?
Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question.
Wait a minute.
Let me ask you this question.
Children with rods, right? To spank a child or what have you, but we're not hitting children with rods and spoiling children at the same time. But if you don't try to discipline your child one way or another to try to make them stop, then you're going to let them discipline your child, and then your child will be sitting in somebody's cell block H doing time when you could have took care of that. Now, ain't nobody telling you to beat your child. We asking you to treat your child to a better way, so somebody else can kind of sit your child down. That's what I'm saying.
So, which do you prefer? What do you think is the best way to raise a child? 2-parent household, 1-parent household, or a ward of the state? Those are the options we have.
Depends on the situation, brother. That's what you was trying to say.
I'm asking the question. Generally, what is the best way?
I know.
I'm asking the question.
Your question is: this the way you should raise your child? Pose with your delicious cakes on the screen.
Not Miss Erica.
No, I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
May my cakes look just as good as my child's cakes?
Do not be talking about Miss Erica and Puma, okay? Those are beautiful women.
Yeah, that's the DOC's daughter too. I didn't like that. I didn't like that.
Shit, I liked it. I pressed it twice.
Yeah, but
I know you did.
You are a part of the generation, right? You're 26.
That's a fact.
You don't see this as from the perspective of someone who may be 30, 40.
Fact.
I mean, but what's
somebody's mama next to her advertising herself?
That's somebody's daughter.
And
no. First, before I say daughter, the mama starts the example. I'm not saying that they can't be standing in the line one day and a guy takes out his camera and says, "Ooh, look at these ladies." She said, "Baby, for me, you know what I see? She's exploiting her child because I know she wants people to see that
she's getting likes from you.
She's just as sexy. Look how cute my booty is, just like my young daughter's booty."
To be fair, her daughter posted it. To be fair.
Listen, I don't. Her mama's in the picture posing, even looking back. But the point that I'm doing is, go ahead.
You know what's so ironic about that? You see, the Beyonce does the same thing when she brings Blue Ivy to the red carpet.
Oh man!
And with a face full of makeup and a low cut shirt, because they start early at the highest bid. They start early. And so, a lot of times these celebrities, parade their kids around like that, looking for the highest bid, gentlemen.
They sexualize their children. Yeah, they sexualize their children.
Yeah, and Steve Harvey they did it with their daughter. What was her name?
Laura.
Lauren
is Dwayne Wade.
A grown woman.
Yeah, you see it all the time. I mean,
But wait, let's get back to Blue Ivy. Me and my sister going at it tonight. I'm going at it with Gemini. I gotta get it. You are not going to tell me that you think that little girl going to I love Gemini. That little girl going to a function with an appropriate ball gown on.
The Grammys.
Makeup is the same as somebody doing booty back shots, basically, pause, with their mama in some yoga pants. Race car yoga pants. Let me get the picture. Go ahead, Queen. I want you to answer, but I'm gonna get the picture you're talking about.
Yeah, she had on the blue. She had on the blue ball gown, and it was cute. But the purpose of that, it may seem harmless, but women in their position, in a position of power, when they start bringing out their daughters, it's not because they just want to. Otherwise, they can keep them in the background the same way they do all the other kids.
So Beyonce was exploiting her daughter.
Yeah, when it's time to mate, though, when it's time to mate, and it's getting about that time, mamas will put their daughters out there, and it's like, hey, my daughter has the highest value cha-cha because look, she's clothed, she come from a wealthy, two healthy home, so the man who steps up to my daughter better be just like us or very similar, and that's
there's a culture in Hollywood with that. You're right.
Okay, so let me get
the what happened to Willow and Northwest? So what's up with them?
I'm trying to get the dress though.
When you have rebelliousness, it looks a lot different, doesn't it? Because that's very, very different. And so what they had to do early with their kids was give them what they want because they raised them wild like that. So it's like, hey, you know what? They had to go with the flow. And so that's what their flow looks like. That is exactly what it looks like. It can't look no other way except what you see, in Willow and Will Smith's son and daughter. What you see is a total reflection of how their parents put them out there.
Okay.
Yeah, Willow has a picture with a 20-year-old boy, like very little man. It's a very inappropriate looking picture with this.
Okay.
Yeah, 20-year-old.
We are now
at 13.
This picture compared. This is a beautiful picture. Dang, how come it won't magnify? I thought I magnified it.
The arrows won't
clear. We can
the
see
arrows
it.
at the corner. The X, the arrows by the corner.
Let me
by the
see.
X.
But then if I do that, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
This picture, let me take this off. Thank you for the love. Thank you. I love you, Lady G. This picture compared to this, look at this. I'm trying to let me get myself on the big screen first. This right here.
Oh no.
God.
Yeah. She's saying, okay, my daughter. Hey, my daughter's standard.
Let's just look. This ratchet, let's get in together, and we gonna show our cakes compared to somebody that spent time and got her daughter dressed in a beautiful ball gown and got her makeup done appropriately. You're saying this is the same?
Yes, and that's a high-end cha-cha versus a
there's no her cha-cha's not showing. Her coochie's not showing.
It doesn't matter. So they're preparing her.
No. She's a young lady. But let me say this. Let me say it again. There's nothing wrong with being beautiful. There's nothing wrong.
She won't go through the same changes that Erica's daughter is going through. Heck no.
Look at that. They're the same. They're the same level.
She won't lose her virginity at the same age.
How old is Erica's daughter though?
No, I wanna.
She like 21.
Same age.
Yeah, 21, 22. Yeah.
This is a perfect example. Hold on. It doesn't. No. This is a perfect example. I'm not saying you can't be beautiful and seductive. I'm not saying a child should be seductive, but if we're talking about advertising, this is inappropriate for mother-daughter.
No, it's exactly for the man she's looking for. She's looking for the same type of energy she always had.
She's looking for a fathers
are all the fathers are all, rappers, the DLC from the streets.
What? Blue Ivy's father is a rapper.
No, but they changed. But they changed their lifestyle so much.
Are they selling those pants?
And Blue Ivy father is a billionaire.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not gonna. It's not about them selling the pants. Let me get back to the picture. This isn't the same.
Blue Ivy's parents, right? Again, like you said, it's billions now. So it is called grooming. That's the perfect word.
It's not grooming.
So it depends on, again, you may say, hey, I appreciate, just like men have tastes too. It's the same thing. Hey, we already know that when Blue Ivy becomes of age, it again would not be no average person on the streets. Would not be nobody like that. It's not even going to step to her. But she is preparing her. And you can see
no. It's nothing wrong with preparing your daughter. She's preparing her the right way. I've been in cotillions. We do in my family. We do coming out parties. Girls wear ball gowns. They wear spaghetti straps. They wear beautiful dresses like this. You don't see her breast being advertised. You don't see her coochie. You don't see her booty cheeks. Hold on. You don't see her. She's standing very ladylike with her hands positioned correctly. You're taught to have your elbows akimbo. If you've ever been in a cotillion, if you've ever been trained, if you want to call it groomed, fine. You've been trained correctly as a lady, not with your meat hanging out the back, and then boys and men could go, damn. When people look at her, they say, this is a lady I'd like to marry I won't be ashamed to walk in the place with her.
But it's going to end in the exact same, it's going to end in the exact same thing. It's going to end in, they both get a man. Get cheated on regardless. Or they both get a husband.
No, they're not going to both get her.
It's going to end the same.
Blue Ivy is only 13 in this picture right here.
No, 13. Okay, fine. This is my point. She's got her, and then let me talk to you. She's got her mother in the picture with her hand behind her back. That's body language saying, I'm protecting as a matriarch my daughter, but look how beautiful she's becoming, a lovely lady. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what I know. There's nothing wrong with her presenting her daughter in an appropriate way as a lovely young lady. But she's not a child. She's not a child, a tiny child anymore. She's a child, but she's not a tiny child. She wants
the other pictures.
But so is Erykah Badu's daughter. She's an adult.
Badu's daughter is showing her
she's an adult. She's an adult, right?
Yes, but as an adult, this is the problem.
So what I'm saying is that
she's an adult, but she's advertising her booty cheeks.
Yeah, but it's the same dynamic though, Nepal.
No, it's not the same dynamic. It's not the same dynamic. Because what we have here is the mother.
That's not what I'm saying. It's the whole dynamics between them two. Because Beyonce is married. Erykah Badu is not. She's single and she's raising her daughter as a single mom in that single energy. So it's gonna result in the both of them getting a man, two very different men, and two very different parenting styles because one is married and one is not.
Yes, so thank you. Wait, hold on. So what you just said is exactly right. That's the problem though, because she's showing be ratchet, objectify yourself. Show your body parts instead of yourself as a sexual object. Don't show yourself as a beautiful, powerful, sensual, seductive. Nothing wrong with being when you become a woman. Seduction isn't the problem. You can be seduced by somebody.
Erykah does think that's power.
No, let me get this out. I didn't cut anybody off. Let me finish.
Right,
she's teaching her daughter. She's teaching her daughter be ratchet. Just get banged on by a bunch of different baby daddies. Just be out here. No one will ever value you. And that's what we do. We tie up our t-shirts. We put on our yoga pants and with our racer back yoga pants. And we just show our booties so we can just get just one and done. And then this one is saying, this woman right here saying, I'm a lady.
13-year-old child.
Hold on. Let me finish, please. And then I promise I'll hand the mic over. You see how she's wearing it. She's saying there's a difference between you and me, dear. You can be beautiful. You can wear very, very appropriately, how do you say, more mature clothing off the shoulder, but you're not going to show your cleavage like mommy does. See, mama can do that. See hers? You're not going to be showing your booty. You're not going to show your legs. You're going to hold your hands a certain way. Because I said this before too. It's not what you wear. It's how you present yourself. So this is my opinion. And it's been working because I have a young daughter and I have young ladies in my family. And we don't go out and team up mom and daughter. Let's wear our yoga pants and do booty pictures. But that's my opinion, though. They don't.
Yeah, but you know, it supports my two-parent household argument.
It's power nonetheless. You hear Erykah Badu sit and say all the time, hey, I'm powerful. She teach her kids all to be powerful. She says, I'm sexual, I'm sensual. I believe in, being completely transparent as a personal parenting style. That's how Erykah sees it, right? That's how she sees it with her own daughter. And her daughter is fully
single with a bunch of baby daddies.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, that is why. But she feels that way, right? And then you have this one where this is fantasy. How many men are going to come? Everyone's saying, "Hey, yeah, this is the correct way." However, you're not going to get close to touching Ivory, and that's only for a select few, right there. And they're showing you that. It's only for a select few. It's not for everybody. Everybody's not going to get close to that at all.
Thank you. My daughter's not for
everybody. And I do want to add, can I add that Hollywood does sexualize children? I mean, Drew Barrymore has books talking about how she was a little kid. She'd go to those parties and they would allow her to drink. They would allow her to, they would sexualize her. She said it. She felt sexualized. I mean, that
is not sexualized.
I agree with you. But what I'm saying is, I don't think that she's sexualized. I think she's a little bit too young for the makeup. The dress is not inappropriate. But I do agree with what the sister. There's a culture in Hollywood where they sexualize their children and they get them ready for certain people. So I agree with her about that point.
Right. And Genesis,
y'all tripping.
thank you, both of you. Well, I love it. No echo chambers tonight, boy. We all on our own, huh?
Well,
there's no love lost.
No,
that
Sakina,
makes for a great show.
I'm gonna go back to that. No, Sakina been dying for somebody to agree with her with that dang, what was that you said earlier? You and Sakina, y'all
about
said
that exfoliation.
Oh no, I'm not worried about that because
it was near that because Sakina been dying for somebody to
agree
agree with her.
No, I'm not worried.
You know when she called me, I don't. When she called me, I don't agree. You already know that when Sakina called me, you know I do not agree. But you agree with Sakina all the time.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Gemini, usually, but we don't agree sometimes, and I love it because you and I can disagree. We love each other, we respect each other, but we could go hard and disagree because people thought we were about to take the gloves off of Felicia Rashad. Let me tell you something, though. I love Felicia Rashad. I love Felicia Rashad.
Me too.
I love her, but she got on my damn nerves. Yeah. She got up there and did that. But that was a cute ponytail. I bet you I was looking for that ponytail for my mom. Sidebar. That was a cute ponytail she had on, right? The gray one. Anyway.
She shows you how beautiful Black women is at her age. I mean,
oh, she's gorgeous. What about Genesis?
I just want to say this. Like, listen,
Genesis, go ahead.
Like, okay. So you have to before you actually compare, right? You have to compare the pictures of each daughter at the same age, right? So you didn't see pictures of Puma except her face. And then when she was dressed very modestly as a young 13-year-old. So you're talking about her as a 20-year-old, but this is her at 13. She was dressed very modestly. So I just want to say that I don't think it's right to to just be on to like, oh well, look at this woman, her daughter, and how she's dressed, and she's dressed. Look at this is how she dressed at 13. So now put Blue Ivy up, and then now put that up, and now compare. Because you're talking to a mother with her grown daughter, and they're both grown, showing their booty, whatever. Okay, but
right.
Okay, this is her at 13. This is how she dressed her daughter at 13. So before you can say that, you have to like actually look at that and say, okay,
right,
that's how she was dressed.
Well, to be honest, Genesis, let me tell you, I don't think I brought up Blue Ivy. The sister brought her up. And I just wanted to show the difference because she said, but it's okay. I get what you're saying, but it wasn't about the age. I'm going into the future. Hold on, Genesis. I didn't tell you, but I have a time machine chip in my head. Hold on. I'm fast forwarding to when she's 20.
Oh, you do too?
She's not showing her booty. She ain't showing her booty with their mama. They ain't doing booty shots. Sorry. I was just kidding.
But I do want to say this too, because
I'm willing to make a bet on that, because you know all girls show their booty when they get 20.
No, with her mama side by side.
But when we
you'll never
know that might happen. That might happen with Beyonce. That might happen.
Hold on, Sakina.
Yeah, that might happen with Beyonce.
Erica is from Dallas and Beyonce from
your
Houston.
mic is loud as hell, Seven. They're telling you your mic is loud.
Erica from Dallas and Beyonce from Houston, they cut from the same cloth, and I bet you they probably have like little.
Yeah, Beyonce ain't gonna.
Okay, I know, but I want to say the reason. Hold on, Keon. I was trying to say the reason I know that she won't is because I see how Beyonce's mama is. She don't do all that mess.
Yeah. Say mama was born in 1920.
No,
Tina knows.
Don't do that.
I ain't never seen Tina knows like that.
No, thank you. Tina looks good as hell, and when Beyonce first came out, she was looking very good, and she never would ever do that.
Beyonce so recently. She wasn't wearing all that showing her body up. She was wearing all kind of looking like a ghoul and all kind of wild stuff with hats and all kind of. Erykah Badu wasn't showing her booty until about the end of her career. She was dressed up.
Yeah, I spoke on that earlier. Yeah, what evolved her from that?
When she got the butt shot.
She got older.
Well, I think when she got thicker, when she had those babies, when she had babies and she got that body, that's when she wanted to show it off. Because she was very slim early in her career, very tiny.
Right, probably had a little booty to show off. Yeah, that's probably what.
Yeah, exactly.
It ain't no.
Exactly.
Well, I think she always was showing it, but not in her.
Probably was have a little booty going on. Probably was happy showing.
But listen,
sure. Little booties matter.
Sakina wanted to go. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So my thing is, again, we can't just say single parent decisions and what people do when you raising your children. Again, she was whatever she did with her 20-year-old. Y'all say one thing when it's clout, and then you say one thing when it's something else. And then because she did something with her 20-year-old versus what Beyonce did with her 13, 14-year-old, and then you want to base it on a single parent decision. That makes no sense. You see what I'm saying?
It does make sense. It makes all the sense in the world.
No, because
it makes sense to a degree. If you're gonna say it like that, just say to a degree.
Okay,
because we already know that.
Because whatever you do with your 20, I'm not gonna go out with my 20-year-old. I'm not gonna be drinking with my 20-year-old and hanging out with my 20.
Thank you.
Thank you. But that don't, whether I'm married or not, that I'm not gonna do that. That has nothing to do with a single parent. That has to do with me being a mother. That has nothing to do with whether
not
I'm
all
married or
parents
not.
when they see their child get grown.
This is what I'm saying. When people try to categorize something based on something else that has nothing to do with it. If I'm a mother, or it don't have nothing to do with me being married, it has something to do with me being a mother. Right? My daughter is my daughter. Right? My sister is my sister. What I do with my daughter, if I'm my daughter's, people try to be friends with their children to a degree. That's the thing. So I'm a daughter. I'm to a degree, I'm a friend to my child, but at a degree, that you got to draw that line. So when they in this picture, to a degree, no, they shouldn't be taking butt pics. To a degree. To a degree. Now maybe
I agree.
To a degree, they could have did that, but when the daughter chose to put it online, maybe that's where it went too far. You see what I'm saying? But the daughter did that.
But the mama knew she was in front of a camera.
Okay, so that's the line for whoever made that decision. I don't have no way.
Being married is a factor. That is a factor. You have two people shielding you versus one.
I don't have
two. I don't want to walk in a room and see my wife and daughter taking booty pictures together.
She could have been married and still took that picture and it been posted, and you would have still had one way or another. The husband could have got mad if the picture went up, and she was married. So
Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union got a baby, and that baby is a whole new. It ain't even what it was when it was born.
Okay,
so it's
regardless to that, Gabrielle.
That's not Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union's child. They ain't got no children together.
Gabrielle Union got kids, and she still
they raised them
with a dress on that looks
the
like
mama didn't
that's not
like
married.
So can I make a quick statement right here? Can you show this picture right here?
So Gabrielle Union wears dresses like single women, and what do we?
Yes, I see her.
13-year-old, 13. Okay, I was playing Barbie dolls at 13. I wasn't wearing no strapless gown.
No dress out there.
I mean, your daddy wasn't billionaire either.
At 13,
right?
Because I mean, at 13,
at my 8th grade graduation,
I was 13.
At my 8th grade graduation, I wore a strapless formal outfit.
Yeah, because at 13, you feeling yourself. You coming into it. That's why she has, she has breasts. She's built. She's filling out. So she may exhibit other display other behavior at home where her mom is like, hey, you know what? She want. Hey, she's asking for it. Let's give her what she wants, and you'll see later on how this doesn't pan out. Or she might just be, again, like I'm saying, part of the Hollywood, part of that, fast life. Hey, we're fast. It's not like they're slow. They live a fast life. They're about that fast life. They're about that big money. It's just packaged different. And that's only my point, is that when we're looking at these things, the packaging says a lot, but it's for the same outcome. You're going to get the same outcome. So whether Erykah Badu raises her child.
Real quick, I want to say something about what Gemini
and also, but being married is a big factor. If a father is in a child's life, and that is data, that is the truth. If a father is around in a child's life, he or she is less likely to do all of those extra things, but not in every case.
You.
We know that. We know this.
Right.
Yeah.
Real quick, I want to say something to what Gemini
said. And that's okay.
Okay, what Gemini said. Let me just say this. I could have been done saying what I wanted to say.
Okay,
I swear it wasn't going to go long.
long.
Gemini, I wanted to say what you said when you said she might be wanting to do something at home. Also, when you have a girl who's trying to be a tomboy all the time, wear boy clothes, sometimes you never know if her mom might have said, you getting ready to get in a ball gown, you getting ready to put in some makeup. So that's all I want to say.
Right,
so
no, that's true.
Go ahead,
Going back to what I said, if the runway clothing was one way, and she's wearing the same outfit, because see, I'm older than y'all, so there was nothing out like that when I was 13. Okay, so if she's wearing that very outfit that y'all just showed at 13, right, on the runway, and we just said that the runway was almost the new day for her hallway clothing, and she wearing that at 13.
Yeah, I wouldn't let my daughter wear a push-up like that,
right now,
Nikki, but I wore something like that.
Now, because she 13 wearing that. That's the new prom dress. And y'all seen these new prom dresses for these kids.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Ridiculous.
I know.
Ridiculous.
This is what, what's her name? Puma had on at 13.
Okay, I'm going to do that, but Sakina, okay, Genesis, I'm sorry, just 1 second. I just took my daughter shopping for her 8th grade graduation, and I'm looking at Nikki Chavis also. I was like, nope. I know, and now I remember, like, I used to beg my mom, please let me wear it. Until my mom just got tired. She had 8 children. She said, oh, I don't care. Get it. Damn it, I don't care. But I get what you're saying. My daughter's friends, though, it's the style. And they want to wear, and I'm like, no, we're wearing up to here. No, it wasn't like that. But it, you know,
Yeah.
so I get what you
Exactly.
said. You know. Go ahead, Genesis. Thank you for letting me say that. And thank you for your comment. She says, my daughters were always covered until adulthood. I know, I hear what you're saying. And I was a single mother. Morals and values matter. And I live by myself. You know, everybody knows I go back and forth with my relationship with Sonnetter, but I raised my daughter. I've been raising my daughter to, whether you're single or not, it's really your example. When it comes to this kind of stuff, I thought about that. No, scratch that. You as a woman, you could be married. It's how your daughter sees how you. So yeah. So anyway, thank you for your comment.
Yeah.
Nikki, we love that. Beautiful. What? Go ahead.
Say that again, Sakina.
I said
that's exactly what Sakina was saying.
We're not discounting the father being there, but we're saying we are mothers when it comes to our daughters. Right.
Yeah, but different types of mothers. And so,
okay,
you know,
I'm not neglecting
you know, and I mean, and here's the reality of that. If we're gonna push it that far, then let's just push it a little further. Puma's not pregnant. She ain't having she ain't out there all like that. So that picture does not describe how, you know, what she'll be and what her future looks like.
Okay, but what I'm saying is we're not
some of those people. I guarantee you, some of her kids are saying, "Hey, I would never have 5 baby daddies." Guarantee you, they're saying
the mother and father, then the daughters, and this and that and the other. No. The mother is a bigger influence at these stages when it comes to the daughter and her grooming and this and that. Now, the types of mothers, I'm not negating one way or another, but the mother is a bigger influence at this point.
Yeah. So let me say this real quick. Genesis is showing the entire picture catalog of Erica since she started her career. Listen, Genesis, I want to say this to you and to everybody else. We're not attacking.
You don't see no picture of Puma.
No, I was talking. I could have sworn I was in full-fledged speak mode. Hold on, Genesis. I'm going to hand the mic over to you. You don't see, we're not saying, oh, she's a horrible mother. Look at her whoring her daughter out. But there are factors that Erykah Badu can do whatever she wants. I love her style a lot more. I love her the way she dresses. But Erykah Badu does have a track record of, I mean, she didn't want to have all these
being a little reckless. Yeah, she has the track record of being a little reckless.
And I'm not saying I don't use the HO or she's like, go from this guy, and I don't even want to, I'm not going to even work it out with this. And I can't even, in a different conversation, I can't even blame her. But we're talking about what you want for your child. What do you want for your child? Like I said, I wore the spaghetti strap when I was in 8th grade. I don't want that for my child. So, get what I'm saying? Now you could go ahead, Genesis. Thank you.
I'm just saying that, you know, you don't see, I tried to find it. I said, let me do a montage. Okay, this young lady at 13, and I showed you what she looked at 13. So I don't see any spaghetti straps or any like hiked up boobs or nothing like that during her 13-year-old years.
We're not talking about.
You guys are going to say that. Hold on, no, I get what. Oh well, she doesn't have a steady father. How do you know that DOC is not steady in her life?
I didn't say that. I didn't say she didn't have a steady father.
He is steady in her life. It's documented that he is.
We're not. No, don't go into that. I don't want that. No. I'm going to let Latoya talk. Hold on. After you Genesis. Nobody is talking about her age and her daddy. I'm talking about the booty shot was a bad look. Point blank. Period. With their daughter.
Why was it a bad look?
Because it was mom and daughter.
So what?
So what?
So what? Got you. Okay. So what?
Yeah, see, people have different opinions.
Why don't they just take moral
value?
Hey,
people have different opinions.
We're saying so what? I'm not gonna mute. I'm just gonna clap. Since we're saying so what? Why don't we just let them put on bikinis and they scissor each other and then everybody and they smile? Yeah,
see, that's what I'm saying. People have different lines.
Latoya wants to talk after Genesis. Finish up. I did interrupt you. Go ahead and finish. I'm sorry.
With both of them,
go. I'm sorry.
So with both of them, once again, we need to bring this up. These people are on TV and social media and got money coming out of everywhere possible. So these people can get away with this stuff. The average folk, this is not going to bode well for you as just probably an average person, right? Having, as the mother and the daughter tag team booty shot is probably not the best way to go. Now, I also agree with, Gemini. Is that it?
Yes. Gemini, the goddess. Yeah.
I agree with her that even though this package is nicer to look at, Beyonce choice of dudes and how she act, that's probably not too good either. But like I said, these people are on TV, and
how many dudes she been with?
Highfalutin stars. It's not how many, it's the attitude while in the relationship. It's the treatment you accept in the relationship.
I haven't seen no negative relationship with Beyonce.
Oh, you sure?
She did a whole negative relationship
just that she had.
Then I would suggest you do more research. There's like Keandra
that happens in marriages. People step out, but I'm talking about her having a history of bad relationships with other men. I haven't seen that.
I said it's not the amount of relationships. It's who you are in the relationship, right?
Yeah, breaking up don't always just because you don't break up don't mean you're not in a good or bad relationship.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying where's the proof that she had bad relationships?
She has a whole album.
I think she in a bad.
But brother, that's an album about her husband cheating, who she's still with. So yeah, there was bad things in the relationship that happened that they reconciled, but it doesn't mean that she has a history of bad relationship because her husband cheated on her and she made an album about it.
Yeah, I'm not talking about her having a litany of bad relationships. I'm talking about who she is in the relationship that she is in. Right? That's important too. Just because you stay in something that's not good doesn't make it good because you stay in it.
That's a fact.
So this relationship is bad for her?
The relationship, hold on. No, you hold on because you've been talking a lot. I haven't.
Yeah, let her go.
The relationship that she's been in had her sister beating her husband because of the abuse.
Okay.
That's fact and proven, and you can Google it. So no new one, because this one is all F. And if your brain ain't changed, I don't care if you're in one relationship or 47 relationships. If what you accept in the relationship, but the only reason why I bring any of this up is to say we're holding like, right? To me, it's the lesser of two evils. None of this.
Right. I mean, they're not the epitome of how we see.
I expect that because these are the folk that are on TV, and unfortunately, it matters, which it needs to not, because as we see, this is not what you want to model. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you.
Okay, I was just following your conversation, sis. I was just following your conversation, and you said men, so I had not heard or seen her being a multitude of bad relationships. But her being abused by Jay-Z, I can testify to that people accused him of abusing her.
Can we use Obama? Excuse me, Seven. I'm asking all of you. Can we talk about Malia Obama and how Michelle Obama, how it was a complete disgrace because they saw her twerking, which I didn't think. She was a little bit older. I think she was like, 16? I didn't think that was a big deal. But you see how
dance and twerk. I mean, that, come on.
Yeah.
That's not nothing.
Yeah.
That's
but
nothing.
you're also a better example.
Well, but you're talking about,
she's young.
Hold on.
She's a young girl.
But wait, Seven. Listen, you talking about security where they were, went from normal to having to be the most sheltered type of children of all, so they're inching their way out into society. And sometimes, it probably looks bad to the general public because people have a lot of opinions and things to say, but her experience as a child, very different, one of a kind, for her, for that situation.
You think she's a better example that we could use, like as far as how she dressed when she went to, because they weren't
because her parents overcompensated just the same way some parents overcompensate sometimes with their children. A lot of
they didn't have a choice.
Overcompensate. So it's like, hey, we know we kept you indoors for a lot of years. And so, as you're learning and finding more and more on your own about the world, it's a little scary. And the way they always, film them, or the way they, screenshot them, because it's never really to make them look bad, but it's almost in a paranoid type of, you get a paranoid type of energy where they're still in this shell, either the parents wanting to protect them, or somebody wants to protect them. That's what you can get out of the entire situation. So, at any rate, they're, again, very, very different children on that note. Very different.
So do you think that Malia, out of all the times we done seen Malia Obama, the one, I guess the time that we see her twerking on video, that's disgraceful. That just
I don't think she was disgraceful at all.
She wasn't. No, she wasn't.
No, I was just saying a better example. No, I don't think I don't think she was disgraceful. I was just wondering what's the example. I want to read Golden Goddess's comment. She says, "Well, we can't speak on bad relationships. We don't really know what happened in Beyonce and Jay's relationship, but Erica has been in multiple relationships and has multiple baby daddies."
Yeah, because she ain't safe for it.
And I want to make a point though. Everybody's situation is different. With Erica, this is my opinion, you can have multiple baby daddies and you can be responsible and have be a great mother. But Erica, what I see, I don't know her, but what I've observed, she's the type to be like, "Oh, I had a baby with you. What? You sneezed wrong. Bye." It's like
the men have testified to that.
Well, yeah, I didn't even know that. But see, that's when this is where, because I don't like when men start attacking women being baby mamas and you got all these baby daddies. Well, why do they have all these baby daddies? Maybe a lot of these men are leaving, but I digress. So with her though, being multiple, and thank you for your comment, Golden Goddess, her multiple baby daddies thing, and I see you agreeing, Latoya, and I'll pass it on, is that she hasn't even tried to work her relationships out. So that's all I wanted to say with that. So
I want to speak on that too.
She values,
how you know
she lives a different way, and that's okay for her and her family, right? I just don't. I don't think she puts the like how you may value, or we may, whoever may value. Oh, the staying in one relationship, making it work.
Yeah.
She seems to be more of a free spirit.
Yeah.
Kind of just go with it type of person.
She's a hippie, yeah.
Right. So everybody doesn't value the same thing. So all of us at best are making a judgment call based off of our personal, our personal experiences and what we think we would rather see. I'll give Erica this. And normally, if this had been probably anybody else, I probably would be a little bit harsher. But I still don't like the picture, but there's something in me that tells me she's raising that girl stronger probably than Beyonce is raising Blue.
Oh yeah, more independent as a woman.
I really believe that.
I do too.
Believe that. I'm not negating that I personally don't like the picture, but
that's an alpha woman.
And we're on the same page with you. That is exactly right. I added that in to the whole conversation, but we're really focusing on this particular topic with her and her daughter. My issue,
right?
I'm 100% with you on that. Her daughter's fine. She's a grown woman now, in a sense. Not a grown is 30, 40, but she's a woman. But I still take issue with the fact that it is a mother and daughter in a very alluring pose.
Yeah.
It's not the fact that she's 20 and grown Liquid Math and Genesis. It's not the fact that it's that the woman is the mother and she's saying, we advertise our behinds. This is what we do together on a picture. Everybody, and I'm a pastor. Every man.
Can I respond? Because I want to respond to that.
Seen that picture goes, damn, it's sexual. She sexualizes herself alongside her daughter. That's imbalanced. That's wrong. It doesn't matter if she's grown. You don't walk in with your mama and both have on coochie cutters and say, which one of y'all want me and which one of y'all want her? And that's a big deal in our culture, by the way. Passing the mic.
So
right. Let me respond real quick, because one thing I agree with the sister what she said about Erykah Badu being a free spirit. But what I do know, because I've heard the testimony from all of these men, the fathers of her children is the DLC, Jay Electronica, and Andre 3000, right? Mm-hmm. And the only one that really left her was Andre 3000. The other two men, even Common Sense, she didn't have a child with him, but he felt there's a reputation Erykah Badu has in the music industry, especially hip hop. When you fall in love with her, she will change you. Why does Erykah Badu change every man? They fall and she leaves them, right? And I think she changes them for the better. I think she's a positive influence in their lives, not a negative one. But she's just that free spirit, that type of reputation. That's who she is. She's not a marry one guy woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. She's not. She's not.
Definitely
she's a free spirit.
She find the right one, she's gonna marry her.
Yeah, she found. Well, you know what? Well, I'll tell you why I don't believe that.
I don't know.
There. Well, but listen, because she speaks adamantly about the DLC. She calls DLC the love of her life. Like she wanted to, like that baby that she has with him is a complete love child. And she still did not marry. Remember when he got into the car accident when he was signed up under Death Row Records, and he had
he was signed under Ruthless Records.
He was signed under Ruthless. Yeah, he was signed to Ruthless, but he was like the fifth member of NWA. And so when he got into that accident, the first person to run to his bedside was Erykah. So even when she falls in love with a person and is in love with a person, her anonymity, her individualization, or her being an individual is way more important to her. That's what she values. That's what she's saying.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, I do. I respect that about her. I just, when you pair up with your daughter and you're trying to be sexually alluring, that was my issue. It was too much.
I agree with that.
I think you know what I think more. You know what I think more that she's doing versus sexualization. I really think that if we're going to keep it there, right in that type of pool, I think she is you know, I think she is what's the word I want to use? She is influencing her daughter's opinions about relationships and men, and saying, you know what, hey daughter, you know, it's a choice. You don't have to do, and you don't have to be, you don't have to this or that. You can just, hey, be yourself. You can do whatever you want to do. I think she's influencing her more than, you know, sexualizing her. I really do. So
But that
whatever
picture gives the perception. That picture gives the perception of what the pa's saying.
No.
That picture is them advertising a pair of leggings. That's what that picture is.
Oh my gosh. No, the picture.
Yeah, but
the picture is
Keon,
not
you can't be that
sexualizing it.
naive
No.
to
I mean,
think
that picture was sexualizing. It was.
Come on,
yeah.
Keon. Give yourself
What is the
more
difference
credit,
between Beyonce with cleavage all out, sitting next to her 13-year-old daughter with cleavage all out? So maybe they had their booties all out on that one, but then Beyonce sitting up there next to her daughter and boobs just a shimmy.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you the difference. When men see Beyonce and her 13-year-old daughter, they go, God damn. Every man that looks at that picture, every man goes, oh my God. There's your answer.
So you're talking about Puma and Erykah Badu, right?
Yeah, and the pictures are clearly different
They
because
give off total different energy. You don't have to be a man. As a woman who loves men, I look at that picture and go, God damn.
Me too.
Crazy.
I'm not gonna lie. I said I gotta get my game up. Her booty's looking cute. I need to work my
energy that's giving off, right? And they meant it to be that way. It's not like it was a mistake. They know what they're doing. That's
the intent. The intent is what makes it work.
How else would you advertise a pair of leggings? Go ahead. I need to hear it.
From the front. Wait, I'll answer that.
Not with your daughter.
I got some easy answers. I got easy answers. From the front.
Thank you. Go to Lululemon.
We wouldn't be talking about it.
Go to the website.
We like it from
That's
the
her
back.
point.
Men like it from the back. They wouldn't
That's
be
her
talking about
point.
it if it was from the front.
Did you just hear what he said? Men like it from the back. But you
Back.
those
Are they advertising the leggings to men?
Thank you. I was just gonna say that. I thought it was for advertising. Thank you.
That makes no sense.
No, they're not advertising, man. But men be pushing it out there. You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go try to find those leggings.
Whack off. Stop.
I'm gonna go get a pair of those leggings.
You're not gonna share. You were not gonna share and be like, "Hey sis, found some new leggings for you to get."
Oh, that's rough.
They advertise. No, you're not.
Yeah, but it's no. It's the same. Okay. Let me give you this. Hold on. Let me show you this.
And Sonnet or Gemini, Sonnet looked like hell you are. I'm getting a pair of those leggings to the gym. I'm getting a green pair, a red.
See, that's how I would respond.
Potatoes.
That's how you're supposed to respond.
Yeah, you're supposed to buy a pair and then send him a picture. That's what you. But now let me show you this. Just the same way with the cooking with Kaya chick. The cooking with Kaya chick, she wasn't getting no attention from women. That was because men was looking at her and pushing, like, oh, she looked good.
Yeah,
and then women start getting mad.
Yeah.
We agree.
We agree.
How we agree?
I don't need her to be twerking to get her recipe.
I'm saying it's the same thing. I'm saying it's the same thing with the Erykah Badu.
No, it's not the same.
Right, Latoya, people weren't watching her. Ladies were like, damn, how she make those fajitas again? Let me rewind that.
Yeah, let me rewind.
Hey, that food look good.
A recipe.
Exactly.
That food look good.
Nobody that's part of it. And she can cook. Oh my gosh.
Keon, all I'm saying, brother, learn to separate you lusting after somebody from good points.
What you
can
mean?
Look at the thing, and it's okay. And I shouldn't have said look, because that has a negative connotation.
Right.
You can find it attractive or arousing to look at her, but I'm not saying don't do that. I don't care. But let's not act like because it does that, it's okay. And we should just get over it. I don't care. My daughter can stand up with her mother and twerk, and I'm going to be all right. But of course you won't.
Hey.
Of course,
because that goes to another point that we were talking about.
Hold on.
I think,
wait a minute.
If you don't accept
where's the line at?
You can't be putting that on other women.
All I'm saying is that I do what I do and I teach her what I teach her. If she grows up after she turns 18, I can't do nothing about it. So if they
you are 26,
that's not.
Thank you. You're not gonna be happy about that, brother.
hold on. If they choose to do that, I'm not saying what I be okay.
No, wait. Let him talk because I got to put him on the big screen.
Man.
So when he has a child, we can play this back.
I got a child.
Go ahead,
I don't have a daughter, but I got a son. But what I'm saying is that even if I do disagree with what they're doing and get upset, I can't do nothing about that. You don't think the DOC, but that's what you just said. I'm going by the conversation. You don't think the DOC is upset that he's seeing Puma and Erykah Badu with their ass out? I mean, with their butt out on Instagram. I'm pretty sure he's upset. But it's not like DOC taught them how to do that. It's not like DOC is allowing them to do that. It's just what they do. As soon as they turn 18, we can't do nothing about it. And it's just that simple.
Can I just
the mama is the influence?
Yeah, we all agree with that.
Lady G said that she's right. Nobody was worried about the food really, but I thought she was doing a good job. They were worried about her, so let's.
Man, I heard her food.
I just want to make a really quick point.
That food looked good. What y'all talking about?
Can I make a really quick point?
You putting way too much salt on that food, and you don't put taco seasoning, orange. Salt and pepper. No, you're doing too much. You're trying to get somebody stroke.
Yeah, see, I only look at the food at the end. I only look at the end.
I'm a hater. I sound like a real
I just want to make a quick point because everybody.
Hold on, I'm gonna let you go. Wait. Listen, when you're cooking for somebody who got hypertension, no, I'm just kidding.
I just want to make a quick point, real quick. I just want to show this, and I want this to be a quick point because we were talking about like people. Having like a family that have never. Now Jaden have been with Will Smith for Lord knows how long, and this is her 13-year-old daughter with this guy laid up in the bed. This, that, the other.
I mentioned this picture.
So my thing is that okay? So people want to say, well, it's because Erykah Badu with many different men, whatever. But you know what? Jaden been with Jay, whatever her name is, been with Will Smith forever, and this is what's going on in their family. With the same parents and a very high value man and a very high value woman.
Allegedly high value. I'm not giving neither one of them. Don't get no stamp on that.
Okay,
and they have different views.
Stop that.
So why
and their views and values are much different.
More than
right. That's a two.
Why is Beyonce better than what they are? I mean,
I want to say this. Okay, let me answer.
They ain't.
This picture though.
Probably
I'm not defending them, but. She got a CPS case opened on her like everybody else would. And they brought this up where other people were in the room. It was a terrible choice of a photo. And they did this to promote pedophilia. They did. Not Jada, I'm not saying Jada Smith, the photographer for, I think it was Vogue magazine. They're really high level on that. Yeah. So she got in big trouble for this. And Jada, once they opened the case, Jada spoke on it. She defended this because she had to in the public. But for me, it was bad to defend. So I just want to give you a backstory on it. It looks bad.
This is Hollywood, though.
But no, but we talk about single parent households. But Jada is married, and this is she's been married for years. And this is the offspring of the whatever situation. So
that's why I don't like.
You can't be up here talking stuff about Erykah Badu, and then you see this married couple. And
no. I'm gonna come in now again. Their family is exemplary compared to Erykah Badu's train wreck family. They have successful children. We could talk about them being swingers and him being swinging both ways, but the fact is. They're a double team. They're not a double team. They're a team that raised these children. I'm not going to take away from. I'm always not popular with the Smiths. I love the way they stayed together and raised their children through all the adversity. Are their children weird in people's eyes? Yes, but they're successful. For me, very artistic. They are eccentric. But if we're talking, we're okay with it. Erykah Badu, these children were raised in a 2-parent household. What are they doing? What are they doing that's off the wall? They're not on drugs. They both are doing their careers.
Neither is Puma and her.
The mama is having entanglements with the son's friends. That's not good.
But guess what? And the daddy. Guess y'all. I'm not popular. I'm gonna say this. And the daddy pushed her to that.
Daddy pushed her to have entanglement with the son.
Yes,
with the son. It was a two-way street on that.
Son's friend.
Yes, because Excuse me. Go ahead, Jim. Jim, and I'm gonna let you go. But he's saying the son's friend. You know what that shows? That she wasn't in the streets like him. Because you know she is Jada Pinkett. She is a famous, beautiful.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Hold on. No, I thought you were saying that he was okay with that relationship. You saying that he was doing stuff and then so she did it and she just did it with the
She
closest
didn't go
person
out
to her,
and do
which
it in
was
the
her
streets.
friend.
She
Yeah.
was weak and vulnerable and not all there. And
Well,
she
I think she should have made a better decision than her son's friend, though. I think
I'm
that's
not
not
gonna
fair.
see. You wouldn't let me finish. I wish I could have said that, but you said it. Yes, that was a very bad decision. It was for me perverted. It was off the wall. I'm side eyeing her, but I can see where he. What? By the way, he was 21, right? She was so lost in her mental depression and didn't go out. Because if think about it, why did she go out and meet a nice man that age? Because she's not all there. And she said, well, I'm not going out. I'll just go ahead and prey on this little kid in my eyes. So
Who fell in love with her?
There's everything all over the place. I don't excuse her sleeping with her son's friend. I'm saying if we're going to say entanglement, Will is the one who was
That's
out
what
there.
she said. That's what she said.
Okay,
she called it an entanglement.
We jump into a whole different conversation, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, whole different conversation.
Holly weird, and they all got entanglements.
Yeah, I mean,
see, that's what I'm saying about Hollywood, the culture of Hollywood, and these young people being taken advantage of. To the Citrus point earlier.
I think we all agree. Yeah, and we all agree on that. You know what I mean? But wait, Nepal, go back to Lady 2.0, Lady G 2.0. When she asked the babies. Yeah, because she said it's so she just wanted to not be in love and have babies.
Oh, Erica?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a while ago. Let me see.
That was a while ago. Because she did speak on that as you're looking for it.
There it is.
Yeah, right there. Yeah. So that is right there. Mostly yes, because she spoke on that, and she did say that having three babies, 3 different fathers. That was her thing. That's what she wanted. She didn't mind. She don't care about what nobody feel about it. Right. And she didn't necessarily say that even in a negative way. She was just saying, hey, I'm doing me. So this is what she subscribes to in her freeness or her free thinking, her freedom and all the other stuff. Yeah.
That's I'm not bashing her on that, but
no, it's not bashing her. It's just speaking to what she really believes, like some of the things we've been sharing all night. So she does lean towards more of a.
And she's open about it. She doesn't.
Yeah, she's open about it. Yeah, that's right.
And one of those fathers left her, though. That's the fact. One of her fathers, one of those fathers left her.
Seven. Hold on, calm down. Go ahead, Nepal.
No, thank you. I was just saying. I'll lean back. I'm talking about the picture, but I will add in this though. For me, it's selfish to go and just leave somebody, because I know what somebody said. She left 2 of them. I think Andre was the one who left her, but the other 2 she just left. A side of me as a woman says, "Damn, I wish
she didn't leave the DLC though. Because they knew each other when they were younger. So So they grew apart. No, they grew apart, and then when he had that accident, she came back and she was like, hey, this I love him. Yeah, they had.
Well, he spoke on it
shortly after.
He spoke on it on Vlad TV though. She did leave the DOC. Because he said that he was.
But they were younger.
She wasn't the type. Yeah. She wasn't. He knew that she was greater than him. Yeah, he respects her. He knew that she would. She wasn't made for that type of relationship.
Did you hear what I said? Story of my life. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know what you're getting. She's very who she is. So any of these men, they knew what they were getting into. She's never hit. She's never. Yeah. Sometimes, just because people don't always live the way that we live. So, she has a right, and I always fight that. She has a right, as long as you're telling people and you're being honest and you're not purposely harming children. And in my heart, I honestly believe she raising the heck out of them kids. I really do believe. So I don't have a problem as far as, everybody doesn't view marriage the same way. I think she loved all the men that she was with. She just doesn't see it. She's not a Christian or or she doesn't see it from the normal or the acceptable way.
Yeah.
You know,
and I would think her experience with Andre, because you know that song Sorry Miss Jackson is actually about Andre 3000. He spoke on it about how it's about him and how connected he was to her family, her mother, her grandmother. They all loved him. Yeah, they all loved him, and he loved her.
That probably didn't work. They're the same way. They're like the same person sometimes.
I think you got a point.
You're right.
There.
I agree with that.
Ain't no Gemini and Pisces ever like made it. I'm sorry, Gemini.
Never in the history of mankind.
I mean, I'd say, wait a minute. What about a Gemini and a Pisces? Because I was married to one for almost 20 years. So what happened?
Past tense was.
Yeah, because he's deceased.
I know. I'm just teasing you, sister.
Lord.
Yes, but I'm saying
you are a miracle worker, by the way.
Okay. I will give y'all this. I won't marry another one. You can forget it.
Okay, Debbie, wait, hold on. I'm slow with the bomb. I'm slow with the bomb.
Come on, y'all.
Oh, Lord, she done told the whole. If anybody gets anything out of this stream, this part right here about Gemini
and Pisces, hell no.
Run away.
Not gonna do it again.
Don't look back.
Yep.
Because guess what? A Gemini will hurt a Pisces' feelings, and he will never. Or she will never ever forget what you did.
Right.
It's over.
Yep, it's over.
Where do we go? We make the hold on, y'all. Let me put the car in the reverse and get back to the old conversation. Okay. Come on, let's go back. All right. So
it's a very female led conversation because we could go everywhere and talk about 8 topics,
Asar can hang with us. Asar be coming in here getting all kinds of elbows.
But I'm getting off of here in 10 minutes though.
Oh, we're done. We're done. Listen, Sonetta told me to end it an hour ago. Shout out to Son.
Shout out to Sonetta. Toughest environment to be in.
Toughest environment. But when he says end it, I am on CPT. Actually, I'm on. I say CPT.
NPT.
I don't know. We're
NPT. The pod.
Black people time, CPT, colored people. We're not allowed to say black because Jane Elliott said we can't call herself black anymore.
Black. Ain't nobody saying her.
I'm black, and I'm black, and I'm blackity black, and I'm like, okay. So when he said end it, really that means like a big rig coming to stop. You can't stop right away. You got to come on in an hour, 50 minutes later. Okay, I'm stopping it, baby. He would say, baby, why didn't you end it? I did end it. You said end it at 2. I ended it at 3:50.
This was a good conversation, though, and very fun. I actually really enjoyed this.
Go ahead, close out, Latoya. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, this is an excellent conversation. I loved everybody's ideas. I love how you foster a situation where we can just come together and talk and laugh, and it gets a little spicy, but not too much spice. And we always lead with respect for each other. So I appreciate you providing the space, you and Sonetta both. And this was really good. And thank you to both of the men that stayed in there with us. I appreciate you both as well, ladies. You all know how we do. So
we lost Keon. We lost him at the end. He almost made it, but he
did pretty good. He did pretty good.
His DoorDash showed up. Thank you for joining. I love when you join.
Okay.
Get in. I need you to call me this week. I have like real questions. Good ones.
Oh, and I got to give you my new phone number. I don't think you have it. Okay, I'm gonna text you after the show. You have the same number.
Yeah, I have the same number
because people be finding it out and calling it. Is this Nepal? You live at 33375 East. I'm outside. I'm like, oh my God, who is that now?
It's a shame.
Anyway, I love you, Latoya Ma'at, always peace queen. Let's move on to 7 Asar, because he's the king that's been in here. Not my king, but he is a king of his household. Because I gotta say stuff like that, and Gemini and Sakita know why. And what you mean he's the king? Right there. 2 hours and 53 minutes. You called that man king. I didn't mean this. Anyway, son, that is so mad at me right now. 7 Asar. Go ahead and close out.
Yeah, I just want to say this was an excellent show, another great show, Queen Nepal. And for all the sisters, I appreciate all your input. I mean, we have great intellectual conversations. All of you all are geniuses, in my opinion. And I'm here for you all with anything that I could add that could enrich your lives. Your brother Kevin Asar got your back. So I just want to say peace to everybody on the panel and in the chat, and thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you, Seven. I love when Seven comes in. We be beating them up too, y'all. That is so nice to us. Thank you, my brother. We love you up here. See you tomorrow. I know Seven's gonna be there. All of you too. Yara is gonna take on Ryan Apologetics. Oh. Is he really a Hebrew Israelite? But anyway, let's move on to my sister Genesis.
I just want to say, shouts out to Booty Cheeks. When you turn 20, go ahead and show them off, because it's probably about to be the last time. When you get older, the booty cheeks sag, and it's not gonna be as cute. So just go ahead and show them off and show the booty cheeks. Them yoga pants. When you get older, hang with them. So go ahead.
I agree with that. Well, anything else you want to say, sis?
That's pretty much it.
Well, then you know what? Let me drop a bomb
before you lose it.
I think there's nothing wrong with it, but just don't put your mama's booty cheeks in there because it's gonna get all weird. And you don't want your mama. Oh, mama. Yeah. I need to do the extra one. I didn't mean the extra to come out. Damn.
It's two cheeks. Double cheeks.
Actually, sis, that's 4 cheeks, but I know what you're talking about. Peace to my sister, DJ Genesis. Now let's move on to our sister Gemini the goddess. Geminial the goddess. Thank you for joining. Thank you for going at it with me. Come on, let's go.
You know what, girl? Anytime.
Go ahead.
Anytime, sis.
Let's show her lowrider.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
You know, my whole LA chick like that. You know, I have to sit here and represent. So wait, Sakina was the one who called me and said, you know what, the pod's going on live. Are you able to sit here and catch it? You know, I had just taken off everything. I'm like, oh my God, I'm in a bed. But I'm like, I'm glad I got up and joined in the conversation. This was a great build, a great conversation. Thank you so much, Nepal and Sinetta. And thank you, Sakina, for always sitting here, having my back, calling me up like Gemini, let's get it in. And so I look forward to the next time.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, goddess. We got queens, goddesses, and all the like. Somebody tried to tell Sakina the other day that she's not a queen because she doesn't have a king. Oh, who the hell? Come on in, Sakina. Sakina Ra, the queen of consciousness.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me on this panel tonight with all these wonderful sisters and queens and the kings and everyone in the wonderful chat. Listen here. I don't worry about what they say because they can say anything, right? The Hoosas. Right? But what I do worry about is what they don't know. Because when they don't know, they think we slow, right? And they need to catch up. Right, so I tell them don't come for me unless I send for you, right? Because you don't know, right? And a lot of times I try to throw my age in there, thinking that's gonna do something, right? Like, because I told my brother one time, y'all got me out here messed up because I've been spoiled a lot my lifetime. And so, people, you think you somebody until you find out. But I think, I waited this long to be ma'am in my elderness. And I don't get that. But what I do get here is appreciated. You see what I'm saying? And so I appreciate y'all. I appreciate my sisters. I appreciate the chat. Right. And I appreciate this sisterhood and this family, right? The universe gave me. And with that, I thank y'all.
You're welcome. I'm gonna start calling you ma'am the whole 10 hours we be
Girl,
talking.
why when she said that, I said, I hate when people call me ma'am.
No, listen, I'll be 59 next month. And so
what?
Yes.
Dang, ma'am.
Let me tell y'all something. And so when that old young man said he was 55, no, he was 65.
Jesus, Sakina, really?
He was just playing. He just wanted to be younger than me, knowing he was older than thee.
No, that's right.
So we ain't gonna play with him, right? Because women don't
don't mess with the Taurus. He's still coming for him.
Oh Lord! Of course, don't forget. And I'm hey, when we mess with the Hierophant, right? I don't.
And here's. We gotta say we love you to Lady G. Y'all know this is Mrs. Graham. I love her face. She's such a beautiful face. And our sister,
we gotta just talk about the South Africans and what they're talking about the Zulu parade. That's crazy.
Girl, if you don't stop, mute out. Are you on the phone talking to somebody about a completely different show?
I'm sorry about that.
Right. And then anyway, I'm gonna get back on panel with the Zulu parade. What's going on with the King of Zulu? Oh, hold on, I'm still live with Mupa. Yeah, Eric Badu's booty is great.
Okay. Genesis on StreamYard on another channel talking to somebody.
Okay, hold on, y'all. Erica Badu is perfectly fine. Okay, the Zulu parade. I need those women in South Africa to take their tops off. Hold on, this might go together. 1 second. I'm just joking. Let me go ahead and play. I want to say thank you to all the people who joined us. I love you. You're so awesome. The brothers and sisters. I love when the sisters come in. This was I think the brothers are mad. You know what I just thought, ladies? I was ready to go in on the sisters. And then it just turned out to be like a great stream for the ladies. Shout out to the sisters with the V tribe from compliments of my sister Gemini, the goddess Gemini. The stream that we did on the brothers, I do want to say, I'm sorry it ended kind of rough. We were going in on the Lady G. You did that. We were going in on that one brother at the end. We all grabbed him by his half braided hair and we dragged him down virtually.
So funny.
He was like, "Oh, you know what's stinking you," and it was crazy. So I want to say sorry to the brothers, but this one ended with love with the sisters. The other one was love too. That's why when Seven came in, he was like, "Oh, I see. I thought this was gonna be a drag session for the ladies."
Yeah, but exactly. A drag down knockout.
So I'm going to end it with some Sonnetter music and clips. I want to say thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow. Elder Yara will be debating Ryan apologetics. One of the brothers of the Caucasian persuasion hit the panel. He said, "I'm tired of you Black Hebrew Israelites trying to say you're the people of the Bible, and I'm ready to prove that you're not." And Elder Yara was ready. He was right up there, and he's like, "I'm ready." Tune in for that. It's going to be at 5:00 Eastern, and right after that, we're going to have one more weigh-in with. Let me show you. With Pastor Bennett and Captain Tazariak. Peace, Mac Tip. This
is this free or even right?
It's free, my love.
Ooh.
This is like a one of those that wouldn't usually be free. So Sonnetter said, "Let me give it to the people." So peace and love. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm gonna end it with this one. Who remembers this? This is I'm digging in the crates, so to speak. Here it is.
Yo, hurry up, turn it on. Sonnetter TV about to go live right now. Hurry up, I gotta watch Sonnetter TV. Ciao.
I watch Sonnetter, 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 I watch Sonnetter. Evolution, revolution, truth hour, black power, bloodline. land hours. Red pill, blue pill, Sankofa. We take the red and the blue pill, we taking over. I'ma have to break my condition without a doubt. I am not a slave to the system, I'm breaking out. Sinetta know if he see the devil, he point him out. So we standing with our fist in the air to scream and shout. Peace is black power, 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 peace is black power.
The revolution is here. SIutty Studios, SIutty TV, Black News 102.
I watch SIutty, 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 I watch SIutty.
PUP, DoloMissionENT.com.